all over the place. I have a follow-up to the story about the viral video of Kylie Kelsey and her interaction with a female fan, a Karen, if you will. In Margate. Well, the mayor of Margate has weighed in and is trying to make it up to her and Jason.
Good.
Because the woman in the video is telling her, you can never come back to this town again. You'll never be allowed back in this town again. Who says that?
Dumbasses.
Idiot.
It's something I've always hated. Oh, you're not one of us. Oh, we don't want you here. Really? When were you elected?
What's this we
what's
crap?
this we crap, redneck?
Yeah.
Well, and you know what? Because it originally came out that it was in Sea Isle, or at least that's what the video said. And I was like, that's weird because everyone loves that they're in Sea Isle and that they have a house there. So this makes more sense that they were in a different town and this idiot was saying that.
It was labeled as Sea Isle. It turns out it was in Margate. So after the story went viral, Mayor Michael Collins posted an apology and even offered to treat the couple to dinner. And said, on behalf of the city of Margate, I'd like to formally apologize to Jason and Kylie Kelsey for the experience they had in Margate City over the holiday weekend. As a father with young children, I know as well as anyone the importance of a date night with your wife and would like to offer a redo date night with dinner on me.
I don't know the actual second-to-second specific of how she was approached. But I bet you, were you to have done it at an appropriate time and or there had to be something. I'm hard-pressed to believe.
There was. There's people did an article on them, and basically they found all of these other people who had pictures with them that weekend. Some girl tweeted out that she saw Kylie and wanted to go over and say hi, but didn't because she didn't want to invade her privacy.
Right.
And Kylie commented on that and was like, "Hey, I'll look for you next time. Say hi." So, and that was happening all weekend. So yes, there was something with this.
Marissa?
So the story came out of what happened. This woman and her partner were leaving dinner, and Kylie and Jason were driving into dinner. So they saw the car. He has this, the Tesla.
Yeah, the Cybertruck.
Mm-hmm. She saw the car and started banging on the window and was like, hey, can I get a photo? Can I get a photo?
No.
They were like, no thanks. We're, dinner, date night, next time, whatever.
No way.
And then they pulled into the valet. They got out of the car, and then the woman came over to them again. So they were kind of stuck. They were cornered. That's why in the video you can see the Cybertruck in there, because they had just gotten out of the car, like they were going to the restaurant.
You give some breathing room.
Yeah. And so apparently I think it may have been like the valet guy who took that video. That little clip that's out.
Our friend, you guys know Jong and Dr. Bill, longtime friends of the show. They saw Jason at Uncle Bill's over the weekend as well. And he walked in, got some breakfast, sat down, and the people that saw him, it's Jason Kelsey. It's a celebrity sighting. Everybody was really cool. While he was sitting down, having his breakfast, nobody bothered him. He gets up, he leaves the restaurant, and a few people asked for photos. He stopped and he took pictures with them. And Steve, to your point, they approached him politely. They waited until the meal was over. And then guess what? He walked out of the restaurant and had a nice rest of the day, and so did the people.
Every confidence that would happen in most situations.
So we'll probably chat about this a little bit more. Kathy's got a little inside scoop. Which we'll get to. Or do you want to say it now?
I don't care. Are we
go ahead.
going to talk about it later?
Tease it for later.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it later.
Ooh,
By the way, Uncle Bill's is part of MMR's Jersey Shore 64. If you want to vote for them, you can do that.
Yeah, they're
What?
they're going against right now in the first round. Stephen Cookies. You know where that is?
That's where they were.
That's where they were.
You're
going.
kidding me.
Yeah.
That's where Jason and Kylie were.
It's the only restaurant I've ever eaten at Margate. By the way, great restaurant. Really, really great restaurant.
Really good. Their blueberry pie is to die for.
All right. Okay. We all good? All right. We'll get to it. Like I said, we have some exclusive information that Kathy
Well,
is
don't sell
privy
it
to.
like that.
Exclusive. Never
want people
heard
to hear it,
anywhere,
right?
Wait a
That's a little
second.
gossip.
I can say that this
Oh, my God.
this is going to change some people's lives. There is a young man who's really hanging on by a thread at CHOP right now, and they're going to keep him alive so he can hear this news.
Hang in there, buddy.
Yeah, hang in.
Travis Kelsey must have enjoyed dabbling in acting a little bit. He wants to do it again, and he has a project in mind. Following his recent casting in the upcoming Ryan Murphy series Grotesquerie, Travis is hoping for more roles, and in his New Heights podcast, he and his brother Jason discussed a fan theory that Travis was appearing in the upcoming Happy Gilmore 2, with Travis saying that he wasn't aware of any available role, but added, "I'll do anything in the movie, and I'll be in part of it any way I possibly can." So sometimes a statement like that will lead to,
of course, to lead you getting and by the way, that is going to be a much clamored for cameo movie because everyone was weaned on that movie. I could see Travis Kelce playing Wallace Shawn in a biopic.
Well, listen, there was also in the original, there were several cameos.
Yeah,
so there was Bob Barker and Lee Trevino. There were other people that made just quick little appearances, so I'm sure this one will be filled with that. Congratulations to Yellowstone co-stars Ryan Bingham and Hassie Harrison. They got married over the weekend.
Kathy, ring a bell?
They began dating last year, making it real estate official by purchasing a California home together last June. Kathy plays Walker, and Hassie portrays ranch hand Laramie.
Oh, yeah.
So in real life, they got married.
Okay.
Walker told me I have AIDS.
Thank you.
Walker goes around telling people that they have AIDS regularly. That's his character.
Walker told me I have AIDS.
Mission.
What's with that guy?
Yeah, dude, listen, just
You have
in one
AIDS.
ear out the other, man. It's Walker.
In the lead up to the summer release of their new movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman got together to interview each other for the upcoming issue of People magazine. The duo, of course, known for their faux rivalry on social media, talk about their 17-year friendship and the many things they admire and appreciate about one another.
You guys watch any of it?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
It's really genuine and sweet. Like Steve, they don't ham it up too much, you know. And
No, and in fact, I think we have an audio clip. We showed, yeah.
Dude, Hugh Jackman, he's just the nicest guy. We had a personal experience with him, and it was just an interview, but he was so sweet and friendly. He's just exactly what you want him to be.
Take his pants off.
The actors first met on the set of X-Men Origins Wolverine in 2008. Reynolds recalls feeling nervous and out of place until Jackman warmly welcomed him, leaving a lasting impression on the Deadpool star. And the two say that their bond has only grown stronger in the years since. And do we have a clip?
It's not over yet.
Okay. All right. For the latest film, Reynolds had to convince Jackman to reprise his role as Wolverine, which he retired, of course, after Logan in 2017. Returning to the character was both emotionally and physically challenging for Hugh, but it was also enjoyable after a long break from the intense demand of the role. But Reynolds praised his co-star's dedication to his craft, and Jackman says he appreciates Reynolds' listening ability, illustrating the deep respect that they have for each other.
Yeah, they cover Ryan Reynolds and the way that he has dealt with anxiety over the years, and he sort of talks about the fact that their friendship has lasted the way that a marriage might last, and that they communicate with one another really well. There's certainly a lot of mutual respect between the two.
Here's the clip.
Not too dissimilar to having a partner, a marriage as well. I mean, since the day I met Hugh Jackman, I am genuinely rooting for you. Every time, all the time. Like, I want you to win.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That is I love to see that. I love to see that very fraternal thing going on. And man, Preston, I was thinking about it the other day. I'm feeling old school in my excitement now for this movie.
Yeah.
Yes, me too.
Yeah. So
Like I was thinking
it had been
about-
away for a while.
I was thinking about getting my sons together and my youngest, and we'll all go as a family, and we haven't gone to a superhero movie as a family in a while.
Right.
And that used to be a regular thing, a couple times a year that we would really look forward to doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm stoked about this one, too. Speaking of famous buddies, George Clooney and Brad Pitt are pairing up again in a new action comedy called Wolves. The two are professional fixers accidentally assigned to clean up the same situation and are forced to work together as the night spirals out of control.
Kathy, it's a cleaning movie.
I watched the trailer yesterday.
It's out, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch the movie. I wasn't
With your eyes?
with my eyeballs and my ears.
Well, what did you think?
I just wasn't that excited about it.
Okay.
That's okay. Yeah. I saw the trailer. I thought it was standard.
Yeah.
Nothing amazing.
The movie co-stars Amy Ryan, Austin Abrams, and Poorna Jagnathan, and it hits theaters on September 20th. Actually, there were a number of trailers that came out. The long-awaited sequel to Disney's Moana is almost here, and the first glimpse has come out. Moana 2 will bring back Dwayne Johnson and Ali'i Cravalho in the lead roles. The official storyline reads, after receiving an unexpected call from her Wayfinding ancestors, Moana must journey to the far seas of Oceania and into dangerous, long-lost waters for an adventure unlike anything she's ever faced.
I'll tell you what, the original Moana is one of the most beautifully animated movies, especially with all the lava at the end, the entity, the volcano.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. If you have a set that has any sort of high definition capability, it's going to rock.
My brother's twins love this movie. It's their favorite. But I've never seen it.
No?
Kathy, I saw it piecemeal, and then over the holidays of Christmas, I put it on. We had this big screen, and I put it on for the kids. Were transfixed, all my nephews and nieces, and they're all there watching it. And I sat down and watched the whole friggin' thing. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I want to sit down and watch it.
Yeah, Steve, I really like it as well. I'm a little confused and/or surprised because they're doing the sequel, which comes out this year, and then the live action comes out in 2 years.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Well, that's Hollywood planning.
By the way, one of the things I love about Disney, and they have this in several of their movies, and they had it in Moana, is the non-speaking characters.
Yeah.
Like in Tangled is the little
Sven.
No, not.
No, oh wait, no, that's Maximus.
Maximus and also the chameleon. But in this is the little tattoo guy. That's on his body that I love.
Yeah.
And the chicken.
Yep.
They do that so well in the movies, and I'm sure that those characters are going to be represented in the sequel as well.
So the guy who plays George Washington in Hamilton, he voices the character of the father.
Right.
And he doesn't
remember that.
Dude, I love the
great singer.
Yes. We're talking about Idina Menzel. I love the tone of his voice, and
don't tell Adina.
But I don't have audio of him singing anywhere except for in Hamilton. He doesn't.
He doesn't sing in Moana.
Or nothing of significance.
Okay. Well, maybe they'll change that for this.
Maybe he'll actually play George Washington in Moana.
Would be weird.
That be interesting?
Who you?
Yeah. All right, and other trailers that have come out. The Bear.
Yes.
Season 3, the extended trailer came out.
I watched that.
I did too.
It made me stressed.
Yes.
They're going to be fighting so much more. Can't they just go have a nice meal at the restaurant?
I know. Season 1 of The Bear is about the stress of trying to save a financially ailing neighborhood restaurant, and season 2 captured the pressure of conceiving and opening a new and very different restaurant and a tight timeline. Season 3 is going to be about keeping this restaurant going as they try to keep the venture alive and up to Carmi's increasingly exacting standards.
Season 2 was the best television series of last year. I'd put it right now, both season 1 and season 2, in my top 20 TV shows of all time.
That's pretty.
I mean, it was a revelation. In each episode, brought characters to places that you didn't think you would see them become.
Good point.
I mean, it was really something.
Yeah, that happened on a few occasions. You're right. They switched.
It's like, wow.
Something happened in a character's life that made them change for the better. And it's a good, positive, but stressful show.
It's Ted Lasso, but with migraine medication.
The 2-minute trailer greatly expands on a shorter teaser from last week, showcases the tensions between Carmi's vision and the day-to-day execution of it. So if you haven't had a chance to see that yet, make sure you do. When does that debut?
June 27.
Oh, so it's coming up soon.
Yeah.
I love it. And
June 22, sorry.
It has
even sooner.
It has been renewed for a 4th season.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is slated to film back-to-back with season 3. It will likely premiere in 2025.
So much is premiering in June. I don't know why that's the month to do it for summer, but
in the streaming realm, I think that's the way it ends up being.
Okay.
In actual broadcast television, September is the debut month.
Because I have a bunch of shows that I'm waiting to come back, and when I look, they're all in June.
Yeah. But fortunately, they'll sit there for a while, and you can get to
like
them
when
you get to them.
Yeah.
Or you just power through them
you
like
could
me,
do
and
that
then
too.
you don't have anything to watch next week.
Yep.
Leave Mommy alone. She's watching Bridgerton.
By the way, we're just now, and I know I've mentioned this a couple times, Yellow Jackets. Oh, my
You digging it?
God.
All right.
Well, I like
I
it.
guess I have to jump in.
No, you would not
okay.
like it.
No.
It's intense, man. And it's going to places I didn't think it would go to.
How would you describe it? In one word or less.
Awesome.
I need some new shows.
Okay.
What is the genre of?
We'll work on it. It's horror. It is it's paranormal kind of. You're not really sure.
Okay, I'm down. Nick just started watching Fallout.
you think it's going to be like a Lord of the Flies type of thing to start with, and then it starts going in places you didn't expect it to.
It becomes Oh Lord Flies.
Oh Lord Flies.
Yeah, Kathy, how are you with violence in shows? Because I started watching Fallout, like Steve said, and it's really cool. I like it a lot, and Andrea's into it, but it's not a gentle show. There's a lot of violence.
Is there a love story in there somewhere?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I would be all right.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
All right, so one other quick thing. The third Knives Out movie, Wake Me Up Dead Man, has announced new cast members. Kerry Washington and Glenn Close have officially signed on to the third murder mystery set to debut on Netflix sometime next year. The new additions join a growing cast. Andrew Scott, Josh O'Connor, and Kaylee Spaney have already been announced as new faces, joining Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc once more. Plot details have not been shared just yet, but director Ryan Johnson says that it's Benoit's most dangerous case yet.
Yeah, I think I would like to see that develop, and it'd be kind of fun to have him and Hugh Grant, his husband, right?
Yeah.
As sort of a detective team.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
bet you they'd
cool.
play off each other nicely.
All right, we're ready for the clips now. The action-packed movie Hitman follows a straight-laced professor who moonlights as a fake hitman for the New Orleans Police Department. Here, Glenn Powell talks about working with director Richard Linklater to cast to the perfect love interest.
Rick and I knew that this entire movie hinged on finding the right Madison. If that role isn't like a person that you're willing to throw your entire life away for, to potentially go to jail for forever for, this movie doesn't work. It completely falls apart.
Hitman is in
As close
theaters
as I could get to Powell.
now.
Oh, yeah.
That was Glenn. Yeah. Next clip. Here we go. Season 3 of Hacks takes a look at the future of comedy and what it looks like when comedians take risks. And here, Hannah Einbinder and Gene Smart talk about the acting crossover.
My comedy style always involved a great deal of theatrics, but I think acting has deteriorated any of the last walls that I had up.
Yeah, but she's not giving herself total credit, because when I first Googled her, before we even cast her, I just was so impressed by how comfortable she was on stage and how funny she was and how specific and how unusual. She's got a great style.
Hacks Season 3 finale airs tonight, by the way.
That dynamic that is on the show with Gene Smart, ribbing her is actually their real dynamic.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, terrific.
She's a Philly girl and big Eagles fan.
Who is?
The lady
Gene
that just
Smart?
did no,
Hannah
Einbinder.
All right, so that's it. We're going to have to take a quick break. We have Pauly Shore on the show, and a little over an hour or so he's going to be stopping by because he's performing at Healing Comedy Club. We got a bunch of things to give away. Our friends from Rita's Water Ice have brought by some goodies. And I just got this text. It says, can't wait to hear the breaking news about
Oh my God, stop.
Kelsey.
I am not going to be able to tell it if you keep doing it.
There's a lot resting on this.
It says, premiere exclusive story. Going to take the morning off and host a listening party, you dumb bitch.
I don't think I'm going to make it. Preston, can you get to this story quicker?
Oh,
No, it's a little detail.
All right.
That's it. And you'll hear it nowhere else but right here on the Preston
And you
Steve
might
Show.
not if the person hears this.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That makes it even more
Well,
exciting.
do you want to tell it now? Go ahead.
No.
Go to break.
No.
All right.
Cleanse
Come
the
back.
palate. Get me sorbet.
We'll take a break and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Plywood. Anyway, does she have like special shutters that cover the windows?
No, well, she lives in a condominium like community or apartment complex.
Yeah, I was down in Florida. This was years ago when a storm was coming through. I have family that lived down there my whole life, so we were down there. A storm was coming through, and I remember my aunt was like, "Okay, let's go open all the windows," and I was like, "Open the windows?
Yeah.
What?" There was a tornado coming through, and we had to open all the windows, and then we were hiding in like doorways. It was pretty damn scary.
That growing up in kind of the Tornado Alley area, that was.
Oh my God! Tornado!
That was me.
The belief was that if you open the windows, it kind of depressurizes the inside of the home, and your windows won't explode. But
Right.
I think it's been proven false. But some people think that you're supposed to.
Tornado!
open the windows.
And it was pretty scary. Like that wind was whipping through the house. I mean, stuff was flying all over the place.
Well, you hope the best for them down there. I mean, Haiti got hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just.
I said plyboard. I meant to say plywood boards. I just let down the word wood. Let's move on.
Okay, we're going to move on. A second 12-year-old has been arrested and charged following another clown threat against a school in Toms River. On Tuesday evening, police say that at no time was there any credible threat, and it appears to be an ill-conceived hoax. The girl was arrested and charged with third-degree criminal count of causing false public alarm.
Anyway.
That was fast.
We have that isolated now, yes.
Anyway.
And it's so loud.
So today, when you're dropping by the 10 store to pick up your plyboard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was like the start of his Broadway show.
I loved it, man. My favorite part of the day so far.
Anyway.
And it's early.
It is.
And that's going to continue for the rest of the morning.
All morning. Nick just pulled this up. We're going to talk about something else, but I can't not mention this. Bob Dylan won a Nobel Prize.
Wow.
Was he awarded a Nobel Peace Prize, huh?
Literature Prize.
Literature.
Yeah. The 75-year-old rock legend received the prize for, quote, having created new poetic expressions within the great American song tradition. Yeah.
So he didn't win a Peace Prize.
No, he didn't win the Peace Prize. He won the Literature Prize.
It's kind of interesting that he won a Literature Prize for a body of work, not something that was just released.
Specific.
Right?
Yeah, it's usually, by my understanding, it's awarded for something. For example, who was the last recipient? And they won for a specific work.
I'll look it up.
Nick, you know off the top of your head. You know what? I don't know, but yeah, usually it's for
like Harper Lee. Didn't she win for
Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah,
To Kill a Mockingbird, or was it her laser tag place that she won?
Harper Lee? Do you love the thrill of combat? Set against a futuristic dystopian world? Well, then you gotta try laser tag. Pew, 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 pew. I'll kill you, you cyborg mother effer.
Let me see here. Nobel Prize Literature, Bob Dylan, 2016. Svetlana Alexievich won last year.
That's her, the 18th Where's Waldo book. Apparently, it was the most difficult time finding Waldo.
Interesting. All right. Well, anyhow, he's got a Nobel Prize under his belt now. So.
What do you get? It's like a WWE belt, right?
Yeah, it's a lot like that. No, I have no idea what the actual prize looks like. It's got to be, I don't know, some kind of a plaque or
a hat that says "I'm number one."
That's a good question.
I think for the Nobel Peace Prize, you get something like $250,000. It's a significant chunk of change.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know what you get for
Amazon
literature.
credit.
And Amazon, yeah.
In Amazon credits.
Oh, my God.
Kathy, the dream come true.
Forget it.
Yeah. Casey.
Yeah.
He went in and heard a piece of audio from our previous break, and he came in. I don't think I've ever seen you that beat red, laughing that hard and unable to breathe before.
Oh, God. I just hope this is as funny for you guys.
He said it may not be funny for us, but it clearly floored him.
Because.
And what happened? You caught it.
No, you know what? Actually, a listener, and they texted in. Usually I hate the text board, but somebody texted in something they heard that none of us heard. So we went back and Marissa pulled up the audio. And, listen, we've worked with Kathy for how many years now?
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
No one knows.
And
is it 28 years?
13 years.
Yeah, 13 years.
So what I heard and what this listener heard is so out of character for her that it just floored me. And when you take it in that context, not the context of how it was meant, but how it is heard.
All right.
Oh my God! What? Just play it.
All right, here we go. It's very short. It's 4 seconds long.
Accidentally at the same time,
right?
Yeah. So she says, listen. And then
now I can cut that out. I can cut the, all right, now it's just the good part.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. As if she's saying, listen, I'm going to fart.
Guys.
And listen to me fart.
Listen, guys.
If it was cleaner.
Yeah,
if there wasn't,
cut
if
off.
Steve is talking over her. Yeah. That's Nick, I think, but.
Maybe I can clean it up.
You ruined it, Nick.
No, it's
way to go, Nick.
Hang on, you're going to try and edit this on the fly?
Yeah, try it there.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
The sound effect cuts it off. It's not beforehand.
Could you
it's after.
do me a favor, Kathy,
do it
and just say,
again?
"Listen to me fart," and then play that again? Could you do that clean? Go ahead, Kathy.
Yeah, just say
No.
Oh, no? You don't want to do that and have
No,
that live on
that's
as a
okay.
clip that we play 200 times a day?
No, I'm good.
What don't you want to say, Kathy?
No, it's fine.
Sacha Baron Cohen has his birthday as well. He is 45 years old. What's the last thing he did?
Brothers Grimsby was the name of that.
That's it, yes.
Oh, you just knew that, huh?
Wait a minute.
Just off the top of your head, you just knew that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
That's
so inside for us, but
All right.
we needed that for a minute.
We'll explain it. Bill yesterday said he wanted to make sure that Nick didn't come off as too know-it-all-y.
And that he should say, I found this on the internet.
And I had to clarify to Bill that I had asked Nick to look for the information that he provided. And I think people know that we say all the time, Nick, can you check that on Wiki for us or rock us a Wiki? So Nick doesn't profess to be the resource of all the world's knowledge.
Casey, had you just been waiting for the first moment to say
Not
that?
the first moment, but there was a scene there. And I told him yesterday, I'm totally going to do that to you.
That was
Chuck said
awesome.
yesterday, he's like, I can't wait to the passive-aggressive moment when you guys mentioned that on the air.
And here we are, bright and
And
early.
here we are. Oh, my God.
That was awesome.
I can discern a tonal change too when you're reading off the screen. You become robotic.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. When I read it off the screen, I get it right. Like when I come up with a fact on my own, chances are I'm wrong.
But that's kind of your charge. Is you're the one. We'll say all the time. Could you check that for us?
So you just knew that, huh?
I did just know that. Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen's last movie, The Brothers Grimsby.
All right, so he's
knew that off the top of my head.
But that's a classic building.
Yeah,
and that's why we loved it.
Well, we did pull up the some of the top costumes that have been chosen. I forgot what the source was, but number 7, Game of Thrones, any character from Game of Thrones.
All right, who would you go if you were to have, because you are a huge Game of Thrones fan?
Yeah.
Name your character of choice.
I'm trying to think who would be worth doing and what would be worth pulling off. Yeah, Jon Snow would be pretty awesome. You get a sword, you get this big black outfit.
What about the Hound?
What about Phoebe Snow, his sister?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
What about the mountain?
It'd be no. It wouldn't
The
be
hill?
mountain. No. Anyhow, moving along. Sexy Pikachu. So Pokemon's going to be popular because of Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go. Mm-hmm. And Pokemon himself, right? Or not himself, but the Pokemon symbol.
Preston, you could go as Tyrion Lannister and dress like the
walk around on my knees.
Yeah,
put shoes on my
dwarf
knees.
on golf. Yeah,
Right.
He goes dwarf on golf. Watch people try to figure that one out.
No. But he would put the shoes on his knees.
What's his name?
Tyrion Lannister. Tyrion.
Could you do Tyrion on golf?
Tyrion on golf.
So Game of Thrones, but with golf clubs.
It would be Imp on golf. Right.
Imp on golf.
Yeah. Then you have number Faye is Rey from Star Wars.
Number Faye?
Number Faye?
Did I say number Faye?
Yeah, because of Rey.
I just thought that was a line. That is so. Wow, Preston knows all the hip words for 3.
And counting down from Faye. Faye.
And now
Threy.
number Faye. He writes, Casey, I never understand what number the songs are because you're so hip and cool. You said Faye, and I was lost. So number Faye is?
Number Faye is Rey.
Ray.
Yeah.
Ray?
Yeah.
Ray
Charles.
Ray Charles?
No, from Star Wars.
Ray Finkel.
Ray Finkel?
Oh, my God. You could be Ray Finkel, and she could be Einhorn.
Oh, my God. Finkel and Einhorn. That's from Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
You don't know Ace
You know, that current movie.
I know Ace Ventura, but I don't remember
Finkel and Einhorn.
that.
Finkel and
Preston.
Einhorn.
Einhorn and Finkel.
Go as Ray, but make it Ray Charles in a Star Wars spacesuit.
Okay, I like it.
At number Faye.
Studies have found that the clothes we wear shape the perceptions other people have about our capability. For example, teaching assistants who wore formal clothes, they are perceived by students as more intelligent but less interesting than their casually dressed peers.
I wonder now with the frequency of dress down days and, internet places like Google and Facebook where the dress is more casual, like smart casual. Is that perception changing?
Yeah, I think you can still dress smart casual and not dress like a slob, though. You know what I mean?
I think that's exactly it.
So, not...
besmirching people who wear bib overalls to work.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, but you don't need to be in a suit. You just need to be put together.
Yeah. I mean, you will always agree that my superhero T-shirts are
put together.
Yeah.
Well, I think Casey is the example.
I'm totally put together.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of people say, are you doing any runway work?
Yes.
Because they assume you're a model.
We should do a fashion show with Casey.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
You could walk the runway.
Okay.
He's up for it.
Yeah, I'm totally up for it.
Yeah.
I like my clothes.
For the derelict line.
Yeah. I wear nice clothes.
You do.
They're just casual nice.
They're as nice as mine.
Yeah.
You don't wear nice clothes.
These are nice pants.
And here we go.
Nice pants, nice. You got a nice pair of slacks.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sure they feel...
93.3 WMMR.
Hey, real quick. Nope. I want to do this real quick. We'll get to the breaking news in a moment. But, Kathy, you mentioned Boyertown School District. I got an email from this guy, Kevin Foraker, and I wanted to mention, he said, sorry to send this email so late, but the school district my kids attend, Boyertown, unfortunately and abruptly had to end the year last night. This is my daughter's last year of middle school and is headed out to high school in the fall. The word upset is not even close to how she felt. As I watched her wander around the house tonight, eyes filled with water. I know that they did not want to end the year like this. I feel so bad for all the students of the district. If I could please get a shout out to all of them for a great year that they had, and good luck to them all in the future. Thanks, Gadzooks from Kevin. So yes, we can do that. Sorry to hear about that, guys. Your school year's not going to go out the way you want it to, but I wanted to pass that along. Now we have breaking news.
Breaking news.
The studios of WMMR, we have a live feed. We're going to hear some late breaking, what I've been told is earth-shattering news from their traffic and newswoman, Kathy Romano. Kathy, are you there?
God, I hate you guys so much.
All right, so here, let me set it up right here,
Not
Kathy.
to put too much of a weight on your shoulders, but a child's life hangs in the balance.
So we started talking about the Kylie Kelsey and Jason Kelsey video where this, I'm sure you know about it. If you don't, real quickly, I'll just mention what happened there in Margate there at Stephen Cookies. And apparently what Marissa was telling us is the Kelseys pull up in their car. Apparently this woman approached them while they were still in their car, wanted to get a picture. And they politely said, no, thank you, but no. We're going in for dinner. It's a date. And they hadn't even gotten out of the car yet.
Right,
so that's a little intrusive right there.
I would say so.
And you can kind of see Jason like he's a little like, okay, yeah, like we're just moving along.
Yeah.
See ya.
So she gets in Kylie's face and yells all these things at her, saying they'll never be allowed back in Margate again, blah, blah, blah. So you've seen the video. Yeah. But the breaking news is that Kathy had heard,
yeah, so it just was, I was like an offhanded comment, by the way, that I just said to Preston this morning. He was like, oh, all right, good. Then you have the inside scoop. And now you guys are turning it into this. Yeah,
apparently a drum roll case.
No,
no. Let her get to it, or she won't do it. She won't do it. Come on.
No, and listen. Apparently, this, and we're not going to say her name or anything like that, but her name's out there. People know who she is,
right.
And obviously she had some drinks that day because Kylie says, I can smell the alcohol on your breath. You're embarrassing yourself. And, she's acting as if she had a couple of drinks. Well, she apparently went to a party afterwards and was like bragging about it. And listen, this is what happens in all these things, right? Like, so she was bragging about it and people at the party were kind of like, cool, like what, okay.
No, this is not good.
Having no idea that this is what it was going to turn into. And now she's apparently crawled underneath a bridge and not showing
hiding
her face anywhere.
So the person is well known in the area, correct?
The girl that did, I'm not sure. I don't know who she is. I don't personally know who
she is. And apparently there's, so we got...
She's a business owner in a hoity-toity area, apparently. That's the word. And apparently she was hanging out at a hoity-toity party, too. Right. And so in Margate, which is, kind of ritzy and all this. So I think, me personally, this is a person who is not used to hearing the word no, and was throwing their weight around and had a little booze in them and didn't, and sadly had miscalculated their position versus the Kelsey's position in the court of public opinion.
You're dealing with a guy, and he and his wife are both known to be incredibly magnanimous and incredibly right. So, and again, as we said earlier, it's about reading the time. And you don't, if what we heard initially is true, is that she was hitting on the window or tapping on they haven't even pulled in all the way yet.
That's the word.
Now that we don't know, none of this is verifiable, but still, there is just tons of anecdotal evidence to prove that they are absolutely not above taking pictures with people,
right?
And in fact, encourage it.
That day,
yes, that day.
Well, and like the "Don't you know who I am?" The what she said, yeah, but when she was like, "You'll never be allowed back in this town again," or whatever.
Yeah, along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah. You're not.
As soon as
you can never come back here again.
Yeah, as soon as I heard it, I was like, "Oh, you poor thing."
And now that I'm hearing a little bit more of these details about the type of person that this is, and that is probably well-to-do and all that, and the fact that they are, that's fine if you're well-to-do. But if you're snotty about it,
yes,
and you're throwing things around, and if that happens to be the case here, then I am delighted about this. Of somebody, you know what happened? You finally got caught. You finally got seen.
Yeah.
And you've finally been revealed to the type of person that you can be. I'm guessing. Yeah. Okay, that's what it seems like on the surface. But if that is the case, then I'm very happy about
Preston,
this.
F around and find out.
Damn right,
and
man.
she effed around. And listen, if somebody wasn't taking video of this, it never would have made it to the, because Kylie and Jason just would have let it go.
Yeah.
But somebody recorded it, and now it's out there.
I heard later she went down to Wildwood and started a fight.
No way, really?
She knifed someone.
Yeah.
That's what I know she did.
He just did the whole tour.
Making the rounds.
But I wonder what kind of so the word is, and you say hiding under a bridge, Kathy, but apparently this person has gone into lockdown mode.
Yeah, little hiding. I don't think she's just
here to stir
Let me
back
ask
up
you
again.
this: is it possible? So, have you ever had a situation, in case when you were imbibing, or anybody in general in here, where it got the better of you, and you said stuff, or were the total a-hole, only to later realize it? And what is? And I know this is probably common, but what is that experience like as one who's
waking up the next morning is terrifying.
What did I do?
Because when you're going to bed, Steve, you are in your own mind.
Yes.
When you're drunk, when you're going to sleep, you're like, I'm right. I am totally right. And then tomorrow, when I sober up, I guarantee I'm going to feel the same way tomorrow. And then you wake up the next day and you're like,
wait, it's not even the next day. It's the middle of the night.
Yeah,
Really?
middle of the night, you're like, oh, no, man.
So you've got, for lack of a better, you have like beer muscles or booze muscles.
Right.
So you're thinking you're righteous, and then once the alcohol starts to diminish,
dear God.
I have a story.
Oh, Nick has
I have
a
a
story.
story. And this is about me. And this is, it wasn't beer muscles. And Steve, you've been around me when I've been drunk.
Yeah.
I'm
you just get sleepy.
I do.
Yeah.
But
Let's
I'm
go
also,
back.
before I pass out, before I find a way out of the restaurant and go find a bed or a closet to hide in, I'm a happy drunk.
Yeah.
And I love hugging everyone. I just love everyone. I was at a Phillies game with my friend Matt, and he loves sharing the story because he was the voice of reason. After the game, I go to McFadden's, which is now Pass and Stowe, and we're hanging out. It was a day game, so it had been day drinking, and I didn't have anywhere to go the next day, and I had to ride home. And so I'm hanging out at the bar and having a great time, and everybody's my best friend. And lo and behold, this is pre-2000. This is like 2005, 2006, pre-World Series team. Billy Wagner, the closer, walks in, and he was with a mutual friend of ours whose initials are JB. So that our friend, it's John Brazier. Yeah, it says sees me and he sees my state, and he's like, "Oh Christ!" So I think that I'm Billy's best friend because I'm a fan of the team and I love the closer, and he had just pitched 100 mile an hour and gotten the save, and the party's going at McFadden's. And I figured that Billy Wagner probably wants to dance.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Because I want to dance.
Oh, no.
And so here's what I do. Kathy, stand up for a second. I'm like, just come here close. Like, turn this way. I was like, come on. Yeah, woo! Let's go, Billy!
He's doing the bump with him.
Yeah. And so here's, all of this happened. The story's way longer than the incident. The incident was over in 5 seconds. But Billy just turns to me and he goes, I'm going to need you to stop doing that.
Oh, wow.
But Steve, You know what? He was polite about it.
Yeah.
I was way in the wrong. I was being an obnoxious idiot, and I wasn't being aggressive. I wasn't being a jerk.
At that moment, did you take it as an affront to you?
No.
Only
I was
to
like,
think
oh
better of it
man, Billy doesn't want to dance. I was just hurt because he wasn't my best friend.
Let's also remember how many decibels go up in Nick's voice when he's had a few on.
And Casey, like, they did it! Yeah, it was a couple years before that. Maybe that's part of the aggression you hear in that voice and that scream.
Maybe you'll dance with me now.
Casey, it was exactly what you described, because I'm like, oh man, you don't want to dance, and like the party's ruined or whatever, and Matt gets me out of there and we go home. But that night I'm lying in bed, I'm like, what the hell was I doing? And then the next day, the feeling creeps back in, and it's even worse. No. And I'm sure it never even registered for Billy Wagner. It was just a drunken idiot who was having a good time and had several drinks too many. But that moment, man, it's palpable for me, even though I was hammered.
Yeah, so that's my question. And it's, Preston, any time that you can recall where you were the adjutant, a booze-induced moment that you wish you could take back?
I'm sure, but I can't. I mean, a lot of those were just around people I knew.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of it's never been around
public,
a name, a public figure or anything. I'm sure I've done some stupid things before, and I wish I wouldn't have said that. But I don't have any really outstanding. That was really dumb.
You were drunk when you bear hugged the guy from behind a Wawa.
No, I was sober. I thought that was my friend. And he could have been my friend if we would have hung out a little bit longer. But here's another aspect to this story as well. A few people pointed this out on social media, and here's one that Marissa had set aside for me. This guy named Joshua Gale wrote, forget the fact that Kylie Kelsey is a college athlete, built like a brick wall and about 10 inches taller than Karen. If you see Jason Kelsey, just back up and give his wife some space.
Yeah.
You know some crap is about to go down.
Yeah.
I mean, he just stood there with his hands on his hips like, okay, no, she's got this.
He did. I mean, like, not even, I'm like, even his body language, he was turned away a little bit.
Yeah.
He was kind of letting it happen, and which was a smart move on his part. He did not need to get into a shouting match with this woman.
She's towering over this woman.
Yeah, she was way out of her league, this woman.
Do we know who the other guy is who's standing to Kylie's left in the video?
I don't know. He breaks it up. He walks over and puts his arm around the woman and kind of uses his body. I assume it's her husband or something like that. And a smart move on his part to just kind of, he knew that the wife he was, or if that is indeed his wife, was a little over the top and definitely overserved and needed to be pushed back a bit.
So that's an interesting thing. When scuffles occur like this, we've talked about being dragged down by. You have the classic. The girl you're with or whatever has had one too many.
Oh, I told
right.
Your friend was a drink thrower.
Oh,
right?
not my friend. My girlfriend at the time. She was a drink thrower, and I'm like, oh my god! And I wouldn't even know what was going on, and I'd turn around and I'd see, boom, her throw a drink in this other girl's face, and I'm like, well, now what do I do?
Because
because it's about to go down.
Well, now it's now moved over to boyfriend level. So now. You're now enemy combatants in a situation neither of you have had any say in.
Yeah. That was a nightmare. That's Burnt Rubber Girl.
That's Burnt Rubber Girl.
Oh, she was lovely.
Girl, yeah.
Lovely.
God, why did you even date her?
She's really
She was
pretty.
hot.
Yeah, she was kind of
She was hot. Okay.
This is true. Yeah, whatever.
How was she in the sack, aside from the smell?
Yeah, just stinky.
Listen,
I mean, smelled.
Yeah.
I got into an incident where, and I don't need to go into the stories, but I essentially was attacked from behind at a bar for doing something that I didn't even do. It was actually intern Joe who was the culprit, but I didn't know the attack was coming, right? Next thing I know, I'm flying across the bar room, and the only thing that I had done wrong that night was after that happened, I should have just went home. Nick, same thing. I was at the Phillies game all day. I was hammered.
Yeah.
And listen, there was a guy who was passed out at the bar. Intern Joe and this girl, they were taking pictures of him. This other dude didn't. He took exception to that.
Yeah.
The only thing I did was I was with intern Joe.
Yeah.
I wasn't taking pictures. I didn't get into the kerfuffle with these guys. Blah blah blah. And so next thing I know, I'm flying on across the bar. I really should have just went home. I didn't. I knew the person who owned the bar. The guy who attacked me knew the person who owned the bar. So the person who owned the bar, who was like, Oh, okay. You guys don't go in. You just stay in the back of the bar. You stay in the front. And that was the worst thing.
Yes.
Because next thing I know, I'm fighting with this guy across the bar for the next hour.
When did it dawn on you that
the next morning?
Yeah, okay.
The next morning, because it was one of those like, I'm right, I know. And the next morning, I was like, I really didn't do anything wrong last night. Like, I really was just attacked for no reason.
It's Joe's fault.
It was Joe's fault.
But you knew once you had time to think better of it.
I should have just went home. I should have just gone home.
You know what's another one is where I'm like, oh man, and it's not really. It works on the favor of the other person. Is like over tipping or like being like, I got it. I got this round, and then you're in for like $500. You know.
Oops. Yeah.
Or I'm like, I've woken up and been like, looked at my receipt and been like, what did I tip
do?
him that much? He just gave drinks.
Here's a text that says, my dad chased Kevin Costner out of a bar in Texas.
Oh my God.
I want to chase Kevin Costner out of a bar.
Yeah. Somebody else said, I have a quick drunk story when I met Casey Boy. We need to hear about that.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. They're calling in now. All right, we'll go to Keegan. Hi, Keegan. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Great. What's up, buddy?
All right. So a couple years ago, during Casey's prep for his bike,
Bend to the Shore.
Yes, Bend to the Shore. Yeah, he had been at Pinocchio's in media, and I was out there, and I talked to my wife. I said, I think Casey Boy's here. She's like, go say hi. And I'm like, I need a couple drinks first. And,
I need a couple drinks first.
He is pretty intimidating.
Yeah. I hate bothering people, especially, personas. I know you guys are so laid back. But at any rate, so I had a couple drinks at the bar, and I saw him starting to leave. I'm like, all right, here's my chance. So I go up. I was like, Casey, hey, huge fan of the show. And he's like, oh, yeah, dude, I love it. Casey, so I was like, hey, do you mind taking a couple of pictures? And
Get away from me.
essentially. So he took a picture of me. He's like, you're way too tall. Can you crouch down? So I was like,
sounds about right.
It was actually the coolest experience. Him and his buddies were so cool. He actually, my wife's a bigger fan than I am, and he actually wrote, a message on a piece of pizza and ranch because he loves ranch on pizza. But I left. I was like hype, and I felt like such a jerk. And I know
you did it completely right.
Get away from me.
Listen, Casey, it worked out completely well.
Listen, I'm not Jason or Kylie Kelsey. You know what I mean? My profile's pretty low compared to those guys. So, if you do see me out and about, yes. The reality is, Keegan, I don't have a job. I'm not at Pinocchio's, doing any sort of Bend to the Shore if you're not listening to the show. You know what I mean? So I think we all appreciate, anybody and everybody that listens to the show. So please come up and say hi.
You have nothing to be upset about, or you handle that completely correctly, Keegan. Have you guys ever been around? So with me, you're near a celebrity.
Yeah.
Or somebody that you would really like to meet, and we obviously get to meet them all the time here on the show. But I have been in proximity and not done anything because it was the wrong time. It was the wrong time.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. You have to you've got to do a little reality check.
Yes.
In certain situations and go, all right, they're not on TV right now. They're not doing whatever it is you know them to do. This is private time, and they're having private time with friends or family. So you just got we were at I told you guys we were at Jack's Firehouse, and I saw
George Stephanopoulos.
George Stephanopoulos and Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But they were having dinner. There's no way I'm going to go over there and say, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'm a big fan. It's just, that's not the right time.
Guys, seeing you here, I have a 4-alarm fire in my pants.
Did I ever tell you guys my Denzel Washington story?
No.
I don't know if I shared this or not. This was 1996. I was living and working in Los Angeles, and I needed to get a passport, so we both were in the federal building in LA at the same time. And Steve, I was on the 5th floor. He was on the 4th. I get in the elevator. The elevator doors open up as we're going down, and in walks Denzel. Yeah. And I knew right away.
What period of time were you talking about?
This 96. Courage Under Fire's out. But I love Glory like you do. And I'm a huge Denzel fan. And he gets in the elevator with me, and I was starstruck and I was nervous. And he's facing the elevator door, and I'm right behind him. and I don't say anything. And I get out of the elevator, we get on the first floor, and he stops to tie his shoes, and I walk past him, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to bother the guy.
No.
I got to see him. It was neat.
You know what would have been great, Nick, is so you're in the elevator and it's quiet and he's facing away. You're behind him. You should have just gone, my man.
Well, I had plenty of time to think of what to say afterwards, right?
Of course.
Yeah. But in the moment, you're like, I can't think of anything. I really, like, he's one of my favorite actors of all time, even then. And so we're leaving the building, and he starts walking in the same direction that I start walking in. And it turns out his car, a beautiful 500 SEL Mercedes, black Mercedes, is parked right next to my friend Stu's car, because I didn't even have a car at the time, and I'm driving Stu's car. And so Steve, I'm getting in the driver's seat. I'm following him in the parking lot at this point, so I feel like a jerk. But we're literally walking to the same spot. He gets in. He's about to get in his car, and I'm about to get in mine. I was like, hey, man, I just want to let you know I'm a really big fan. And he's like, oh, thank you. He was super polite. I was like, Glory's one of my all-time favorite movies. And then he says, thanks, man. Have you seen my new one? Which was Courage Under Fire. And I was like, yeah, man, I love it too. And I hadn't seen it. Yeah. And then that was it. He gets in his car, drives away, waves, and that was
that Courage is on fire, man. That's intense. No, you handle it well.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to echo, I want to preface this by saying, echoing what Casey said about our level of notoriety being way lower profile than actual big-time celebrities. But there was one time when I was at a grocery store checking out, and there was a woman who was the cashier, and she was an older woman, and she recognized me, and she starts this whole thing, hey! Yelling to other people, you know who this is right here? You know who this is? And she looks at the kid that was bagging. She says, this is Preston from the Preston Steve. The kid looks at me, he's like, I had no idea who I was. And that always makes me feel like, oh my God, they don't care. Don't let them, don't bother them.
You don't have to know. You don't have to know me at all. It's okay.
In fact, she started calling other people over, and it was nice.
It's sweet. It's sweet.
Loud and over the top.
And then when people actually like lie and they're like, oh yeah, listen, sometimes
it's okay.
Or they apologize. I'm sorry. I don't know who you are. I'm so sorry.
You do that War of the Roses.
My friends, after they've had, if we're out at a bar, after they've had some drinks, they will do that to me
jokingly
on purpose, because they know that it like embarrasses me, and they love if they get somebody who doesn't.
Your own son does it to you.
Oh, are you Kathy Romano?
Oh, wait, here, hang on. Larry's got a story about you, Kathy. Hi, Larry. Hey, Larry, good morning.
Larry!
Hey, Larry, are you there?
You, Larry?
Hey, is your name Larry?
Gary.
Gary?
Guy who's driving.
Gary!
Harry. You have a story about Kathy.
I can hear him.
All right, forget it. All right,
maybe he's hanging his head out the window.
Because it wasn't true. He was making it up.
Yeah, he said you blew him off at a Sixers game in a box. He said, nice to meet you, and she just turned and walked away.
That is not true.
That is not true. No. And his silence is proof of that.
There we go.
I'm gonna let's go to Carrie. Maybe she knows Larry. Hi, Carrie.
You, Larry?
Hi, how are you guys? You guys rock.
Thank you, Carrie. What's up?
Nothing. I was out to dinner in 2009 when Jamie Moyer and Chase Utley walked in with their wives, and I was out with a big group of people, and so we bought them a drink from, like, we didn't go up to them, we just bought them a drink, and they came over to say thank you, and so I was just completely starstruck and asked them to get a picture, and they were super, super nice. And an article had just come out in Philadelphia Magazine about Chase Utley and his wife. And so after I took the picture, I slipped over to their wives, and I just told them how awesome I thought they were, and all like the charities that they were working for. Mm-hmm. And then Jamie Moyer and Chase Utley come back to their table while I'm talking to their wives, and I'm just standing there talking to them at their booth, and I couldn't even get over it. I was so starstruck. I thought it was the coolest thing. They were so, so nice.
No, you did a really classy move, which is you didn't want to be in imposition, but you wanted to register your admiration for who they are, and you sent over a drink. That's a nice gesture. And then the ball is in their court, whether they want to respond or whatever, but you've done your thing, and it sounds like it worked out wonderfully.
It worked out perfectly.
Yeah, and there you go. Because Carrie, you're always flirting with, oh my God, it turns out to be a nightmare, and they totally destroy your impression of them. But this one worked out great.
Thanks, Carrie.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, the whole this obviously this woman who approached Kylie and Jason Kelsey, number one, had a little bit of booze in her, I assume, but she also, it sounds like the type of person, if you go from hearing, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that, to a switch flips to, you're never going to be allowed back here.
Like what? I'm putting this city under martial law.
That says something about that person's personality, without question, and that they don't hear the word no that often, and when they do, it's like, dude, your perspective went right out the window.
Leave the country.
Yeah.
Like, given their druthers, I don't care how many years you've been going to this restaurant or whatever it may be, if you go to them and say, hey, don't ever let those Kelseys back in here again.
Yes, I just want
How
you to know.
How do you think that's going to be received?
You can no longer allow Jason Kelsey and his high-profile Jason Kelsey and his high-profile wife in your restaurant.
And the mayor of Margate has apologized officially, by the way, to them.
I was going to say, great move by that mayor. Like, that's a really good publicity move. It's a really good PR move, and it's classy. Just shows, like, listen, we want you to come back, and we're going to treat you right.
It's a good restaurant?
I've never been.
I have. It's.
Do they actually have cookies?
Yeah, maybe for dessert or whatever. I think it's the nicest restaurant in that town.
Steve, it's one of the most famous restaurants at the shore.
Oh, really? Okay.
And it's part of our Jersey Shore 64, by the way. Facing off against Uncle Bill's. That's pretty tough, man. Even though it's a super nice, awesome, famous restaurant, I mean, Uncle Bill's. There's a line out the door all the time.
At every one.
Let me go to, all right, Larry has called back.
Oh, really?
Okay.
You, Larry?
Hey, Larry?
Yes.
All right, we were trying to talk to you a minute ago.
Yes, I was in a car driving, and you guys know me from, we'll call it a bike shop that rhymes with Whippies.
All right. Casey and I go there. Okay, what's up, Larry?
I was in a corporate box back when Kathy was doing her 76ers gig. And I guess when you're done your gig, sometimes you get to partake of certain corporate boxes. And Kathy, you'll remember the attendant's name, won't use her name, but it rhymes with booty.
Does that sound familiar, Kathy?
No, stop talking in code. Tell us what you're talking about.
Well, let's not call it code. Let's call it mode.
We'll call it mode.
Yeah. All right. So cut to the chase. How did Kathy? Kathy just ignored you?
Good spread out. They have food out. They have beverages. And Kathy was at the food table or the food bar right inside the door of the box. And she was wearing her black BB shirt. I won't forget it. So I walked up and I was waiting to get something to eat. And I said, hey, Kath, it's nice to meet you. I listened to the show. And you just kind of gave me a look and walked away.
Is it conceivable that Kathy didn't hear you?
Not really. We were the only two standing there. The six weren't doing
There's
real
no
great.
way.
She was
There's
eating,
no
Larry.
way.
She's like,
I
I'm on
would
my goddamn lunch
blatantly
break.
There's no way I would blatantly ignore you.
Yeah,
I must. Also, when I would go to those boxes, I was working. So, like, they may have had me doing something.
Larry, I have looked her directly in the eyes and asked her questions, and she wasn't paying attention. So this was not personal to you. She just didn't hear you.
Sometimes she has to recognize that you're a human being first, and then you'll get the community.
Well, you know what, too? No, hold on.
You're also working. That's your job.
Well,
you're out there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There were times where, what really actually could have happened, because I go over things in my head.
Yeah.
So, and there's tons of people around, and so you kind of have to, I have to shut
block them out.
Yeah, block them out. So I may have been working and doing something. So Larry, I apologize if I did that to you. It certainly was not on
Listen,
purpose.
and to verify that that's the case, Larry, I actually passed out on the air, and Kathy was so distracted she went down to find out if she had appearances that night.
Right.
It happens. All
right. I've been waiting for years to call in with the right opportunity, and this was it.
He's just like, this is
perfect,
my chance.
Larry. Thank you. Appreciate it, bud. See, and Larry didn't stop listening after that incident, so he's apparently forgetting.
How could you have done that to Larry?
Wait, and why can he not say the name of his company, or?
It's
let's
Zippies.
just say,
I know, I was gonna say-
I don't know why he's using code.
Bixfinity.
Yeah.
Well, no, because I was going to say I'm going to be down there, so I'll stop by and
So
say hi
listen,
to Larry.
I am sure that there have been occasions like that for all of us where we either misheard someone or did not hear someone. God knows my hearing is horrible. And that I'm sure throughout the 25 some odd years we've been a show that people have gone, that guy was a dick, and it was some kind of misunderstanding.
Somebody just said something to me and was like, I said hi to Preston and he just kept walking. I said to them, he didn't hear you. I
Yeah.
said, trust me,
Uh-huh.
he did not hear you.
I will make sure I turn around and go, oh, hey, nice to meet you. Let's joke back. Do you want to get a picture? Or we did, we love meeting everybody.
I'm now the one who always says, "Would you like to get a picture?"
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you'll get emails and people say, "I wish I had asked for this."
Yeah.
It's like, hey, don't worry about it. Let's do it. Absolutely, would love to do that.
I was thinking about the Matt McCusker story. Matt is the comedian who works with Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
And so and that happened when he was like a kid.
Yes.
And the story that he shared on the podcast with Shane Gillis, it's a tongue-in-cheek kind of a joke. Like he doesn't really dislike you. However, and not you, Preston, when I'm saying this, but like if you can leave a negative impression with somebody and it can last the rest of their lives.
Absolutely.
You know?
What was I going to say? I have two different things I was going to say.
I forgot both.
Well, do one first and then do the other one after that.
Legit forgot both of them. And as I talk right now,
You're trying to remember.
it's getting even
All right, let
further and
somebody else
further
talk,
away
and then
from my
you'll
hate.
Kathy so much.
Was it about Preston and hearing?
It is, well, one, so I represent the radio show and the radio station.
Yes.
And there was, and I told you guys this before, we had a big dig contest down the shore.
Oh, yeah.
It took me 3.5 hours to get down the shore. It was a long, and I got out of the car. I had my wife, I had children, I had car seats, I had, all sorts. And this dude's like, yo, dude, come here, man. And he's like, dude, try my lighter. And I'm like, what? He's like, dude, light the lighter, try the lighter. And I'm like, okay, like, I got my hands full, but I'll light your lighter.
For whatever reason.
Whatever reason.
That's like saying aloha in Hawaii.
It was a hand buzzer. Okay.
Oh.
And
He
so,
wanted to get
I
you.
mean, I just got out of the car, 3.5 hours in the car. I've got babies. I've got luggage. I've got all this stuff. I'm sweating. And then I get the shock of my life. And I'm like, you goddamn mother effer. You know?
You were mad.
And I was pissed.
Yeah.
Pissed.
Which
I'm
is
like,
a human emotion, by the way.
because I had also said, like, dude, I got my hands full. You know what I mean? So I actually told him no a couple of times. He's like, dude, just try it. And so I tried it, and it effing hurt. And like, and in that moment, I'm like, do you keep it together? You know what I mean? Because no, I didn't.
Okay.
I actually, believe it or not, but I wanted to, and I could. It could have been
Good. You don't usually snap, though,
Dude, if the dude hurt me, you know what I mean? Like the dude,
You would need to
electrically
assess
shocked me.
the appropriateness
Yes.
of something that's going to shock someone before you do that. It's like, I remember the one dude the one time with the marker who drew on your shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a brand new shirt. It's like, and listen, we absolutely, it's a wonderful thing. So, and we're low level. But I mean, so the guy was very excited. He wrote on your shirt.
He just wrote on my shirt. He just like walked up like. I'm like, why did you
do that?
I thought it'd be funny.
All right. A lot of people have been on hold for a while. I apologize. There's one call I definitely want to go to that absolutely is right in line with this Kelsey incident that took place. But the other ones, I want to thank you guys for being on hold. Joe met Jared Leto and didn't realize it was him. I'm sure that's a great story.
Yeah.
And Jared Leto probably would have appreciated something like that.
He's a cool dude.
So David met Mike Trout, blew him off, but saw his kids and turned into an ace, it says. Okay. But I want to go to this, but thank you guys for being on hold. I'm sorry I can't get to your call because this one sounds just like this. Regretting what you did with a celebrity. I'm going to go to Gary, who is on the line. We have Gary, you there?
Hey, Jersey Black Rock.
Yeah,
Jersey Black Rock.
All right, Gary, tell this story, please.
Yeah, well, that's not my real name.
I got it.
Okay.
I'm sure everyone's gonna.
Good call.
So I live in media. My wife's like friends with Wanda Sykes. A bunch of people are. We were all at a bar one night. I was going through a phase for a little bit where I was into ass smacking.
Into ass smacking.
Oh, no.
Ass
Yeah,
smacking
just,
face.
you know,
Yeah,
so-
you got
yeah, and I guess didn't really say that. So for whatever reason, I just gave her a good old walloping on the ass.
This is Wanda Sykes. You walk up and smacked her on the ass.
Yeah, pretty aggressively.
Oh,
And then, she had to be held back and kind of got in my face. Yeah, it was, I didn't really know what to say after that. And now we still see her out and stuff, and she doesn't say anything to me.
So you were drunk?
Oh, yeah, I was annihilated.
Okay.
All right. So question, when you say she doesn't say anything to you, meaning she doesn't acknowledge your existence anymore, or just doesn't mention the incident?
Both. Yeah.
Okay, both.
I try to talk to
The
her.
twofer. Well, honestly, that is considered assault if you go on and you.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did it. I thought it was kind of. I thought I was a comedian, maybe.
All
I'm
right.
not. And,
Question: You're still inebriated. She is reacting like that. Did you take the stance of, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," or was it like, "Come on, I'm just playing around"?
Yeah, it was kind of like, come on, come on.
Here, light my lighter.
Let's all be funny together.
Oh my!
No,
God.
I know, dude, and I'm sure, so I wonder in this case with this woman, do you think we're going to hear an act of contrition coming from her?
I am hoping.
I hope so.
I am hoping this woman has learned her lesson, because from what you can tell, from what I take from that video, is this ain't her first rodeo.
Yeah.
And getting in people's faces and throwing her weight around, and you can't do this anymore and all that stuff is kind of a regular thing. It's that's just me, my impression from what I've watched. Now, a video can be completely misleading and subjective, but I hope that this is going to change this woman's tone if that is the case.
Well, and everyone knows who she is. Not everyone, but her name is out there. People know who she is. So what is she going to do? Completely ignore it? The best thing for her to do for herself, for her company, or her family is to issue an apology.
And make it honest.
You've said this a number of times. It goes away then.
It goes away.
An honest apology.
Right. I was drunk. This is something that I do. I'm embarrassed about it. So clearly I misread the room and misread what the reaction would be, and I think I've learned a lesson. So, and to that, I'd like to make a donation to...
and also entering an alcohol treatment program. This is like the standard steps that one takes after something like this. Anger management, all of that.
Well, and she owns a business, so maybe she could send some things from her business. But you see, Preston, this is part of my business that I should own, which is I can help this woman correct
You're right.
her image.
You can bring your public image back from the dead.
Correct. If you want me to resurrect your public image, you can contact me, Kathy at WMMR.com.
I don't disagree with you guys at all. I think that she's going to try to let it pass. I think that she's going to bury it and just put her head in the sand and hope that it goes away.
I would tell you what, though, for something that really could have been just a real blip, this has been national news. It's been for a couple of days now.
Yeah. Here's what's going to happen. Jason and Kylie are going to have dinner with this woman. That's what's going to happen.
You think so?
Yep.
They're going to take the high ground.
They're going to take that. That would be the thing. I mean, if you want to be aces, you invite them out. Hey, listen, this was a misunderstanding. I know that when we got you, whatever had gotten the better of you. I know that you're not this person in your heart of hearts. We're going to go out. We're going to have a bite to eat, and then those guys are going to be.
I see it going differently. I see him handing her the keys to his Cybertruck.
Okay. Yeah.
Case, did you see Kylie talk about it on their podcast?
Not yet.
Yeah, no, she was like, I'm sticking my ground. You don't do that to us.
Good call. Yeah, why not? Especially if somebody is, the word entitled is thrown around a lot, but that looks pretty damn entitled to me.
It does. And it's a bad look.
It is a bad look.
So, Kathy, what is the official name of your business?
I don't know.
You dumb bitch.
You dumb bitch PR.
Yes. You dumb bitch PR. Kathy at WMMR.com. I'll take
That's perfect. You screwed up, you dumb bitch.
Yeah, that's it.
Are you a dumb bitch?
Yeah, I'm a dumb bitch.
You just have to admit it. Right? That's the first step, is admitting that you're a dumb bitch, and let's move on from there.
Dumb bitch PR.
Are you
and by the way, bitches, regardless of gender, you're just a dumb... You screwed up, you dumb bitch.
You dumb bitch.
You dumb bitch. I can help you.
You called the right place, though.
Yeah, I can help
you. You dumb bitch PR, can we help you?
Yeah.
Kathy's not available right now. Can I take a message?
Yes, I made fun of the Pope in front of his face. Oh, you dumb bitch. Okay, let's see what we can do.
We're going to fix this.
We're going to fix this together. I'm going to help you.
This is a three-pronged attack. We're going to fix this.
Okay, you're Jewish. We need you to convert.
Okay.
You dumb bitch.
You dumb bitch PR, can I help you?
Nick, I need you as my assistant. You got to be.
Okay, right.
You have to answer the phones.
You dumb bitch. I can help you.
Yeah. Oh my God. All right. Well, anyhow, it was fun to unpack this.
Yeah.
We have to take a break, and we'll come back in a minute. We got Bizarre File, and then right after that, Pauly Shore will be here in our studio. Stay with us. We'll return in just a moment.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Okay. But I mean, and I'm being honest. You wouldn't look at your outfit and go, wow, that's really nice.
Sometimes I do.
Okay.
Now, Preston.
That guy looks like a gym teacher.
That is a snappy dressing gym teacher.
And I'm not putting you down by saying that, but you know what I mean.
This is a battle of semantics. Okay, so no, they are not dress jeans and a button-down shirt, but they are nice sweatpants.
Are you kidding?
They are
That is not
nice.
an argument. That is not a real argument.
Where are your?
That's a good effort.
Where are your leather sweatpants, please?
I'm wearing clean sneakers and day-old underpants. We're good.
You almost made it through.
Yeah,
we're good.
You know, I would love to see. There's that scene in the DiCaprio Great Gatsby. If we were to turn around with sweatpants, you know, in the I'm the Great Gatsby.
Right.
Really?
I also noticed this thing that, yep.
Back to the noticer, the dumbed down version of the ponder.
We were talking earlier in the pondering segment about wearing glasses and appearing more intelligent, but you may need to leave them home for your next passport photo session. The State Department is reminding everyone that come November 1st, wearing glasses is no longer allowed in passport photos. They also don't let you smile anymore.
It depends.
It depends?
Yeah, some people taking the photo will actually let you smile. There's a place out by Downingtown, and
Smiley's Passports.
No, like, you know, there's only a few places where you can get these photos taken. Like, you have to go out of your way to get your passport photo taken and have it submitted properly. The one out in Downingtown, the guy's cool, and he's like, yeah, you can smile, don't worry about it. The guy down in Philly apparently is a bit of a stickler, and you're not allowed to smile.
Nick, do you have any idea as to is there actually though in effect a uniform rule or suggestion that you not smile? I guess they want you to look the way you would look generically
when you're angry and traveling.
When you're trying
to when you're standing
commit
in line,
an act of terrorism.
When you're standing in line at the
But when
the
I
TSA.
hand over, when you guys hand over your ID, don't you just smile sort of naturally, just to be polite? Like,
yeah, hi,
yes.
how you doing?
Right. So I think that's why this guy says it's
I'm usually like, hey.
Hi.
My issue is that in my passport photo, I'm wearing wax lips.
Yeah.
And so I have to
And that you're
bring
not
them
allowed.
with me.
Come November 1st, you won't be able to do that, Steve. An announcement on the State Department website explains this change will help eliminate glares and shadows that can lead to delays in processing visas and passport applications. Applicants may wear glasses only in rare circumstances of documented medical necessity during urgent travel.
All right, I don't know why I'm asking, but I'll ask. Facial recognition ID programs, are they foiled by glasses? I tend to think not, right? Because they scan like 180 or 200 different points on the face. So, you know, would glasses throw off facial recognition?
I don't know, but facial recognition software is pretty wild because you even use it on your Xbox One or whatever. You walk in, it knows who it labels them. If there are 3 or 4 people in the room and they're registered, their name pops up above their head.
And on Facebook,
and it's live video, and Facebook too.
Well, on Facebook, when you go to like tag people, it already tags it for you.
It already tags them.
It says hi, Steven, when I sit down in the Xbox.
You love that, don't
I
you?
love it.
Case, except there's one of my girlfriends gets tagged as this guy that I'm friends with on Facebook all the time.
Oh, that's got to be
Totally.
insulting.
I'm like,
How are you? How are you, Chuck?
Who's that, man-face Katie?
Is there a Katie together?
there is a Katie, and she's going to be so offended because you don't know who she is. And she's going to be like, why did he call me man-face?
I think I look pretty. I don't know.
It's not man-face Katie.
So is the girl mannish looking, or is the guy
girlish
really
looking?
Pretty? Is the guy really
My name is Chuck.
The guy's not pretty.
comely, as they say?
The guy's not pretty.
He's not pretty. Ooh, sorry to hear that. Okay. You know what else would suck is if you live near a place that is frequented by
hobos?
No, not hobos. Well, I mean, you know, but no, 18-wheelers that use the J brake.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah.
I hate that sound.
It's like my dad snoring.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot stand that. So that's the, you know, it's, or it's like really, really loud. Oh my God. Hold on.
Go through it.
And then here's the long one. Oh, who put that in there? Hang on. Oh, you were doing that? Oh, I thought. God, this is bringing back memories.
And Preston, it wasn't as if there'd just be one alarm going off. There'd be multiple alarms going off, and they'd all be at different points in their cycle.
And they became so commonplace that nobody even looked twice when the alarm was going off.
And I think that's why they eventually just stopped using them.
Yeah.
We could put together a Preston and Steve sound effect car alarm.
Are you kidding me? Absolutely, we could. We have enough of them. No, wait, hold on. What are some? We need to do that. We need to do a series of them. But I don't know if you have them all on the same page. Case, pull up the hotkeys here.
Jesus.
Here we go. No. That's the first part in the Viper, right? So pituation, and then.
I did see something else. This one was.
You noticed another thing.
I did notice another thing. I noticed things.
The noticer.
I'm the noticer.
Dun dun dun.
The Noticer. Preston Elliott stars as a man who notices things. Your gift is exceptional, sir. We can find a place for you in the government.
The noticer.
I noticed the Nazis are getting a little antsy. The Noticer.
Antsy?
I think they're going to make a play for Poland. We knew that well in advance, thanks to the Noticer, a national hero.
A man that saw or heard things that made a minor impact in his life.
I noticed something. Listen when the Noticer speaks to you. If you ignore him to your own folly.
I am the noticer.
I notice around and around and around.
All right. Well, I did notice this.
You really don't do anything particular about it. You just notice it.
Yeah. It makes a minor impact.
You never really
for a
leave your
moment.
office.
Mm-mm.
God, I used to love that Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yeah.
Both versions. There was one with Jack Palance.
Yep.
And one with Dean Cain.
I remember
But Palance was always the best. Believe it or not. Or not. This chick has no legs and gets around on a skateboard. Believe it or not.
He always had a really weird way of delivering it.
Yeah.
Believe it. Or not. You know, breathe. And
This chick has just a neck with a nose and travels on the back of a border collie. Believe it or not. Remember his, I despise weak soup. Remember his Campbell's ads?
Yes.
I hate it. I love robust soup. Every fiber of my being. This woman is just one nose and a hair and lives in the bottom of an old container.
Does she have a border collie?
Her border collie can type. Believe it or not. And yet the most fascinating story. Shlomo Labinovitz, who is simply an earlobe and a toenail taped together. And yet he has built a completely functioning monorail. Believe it or not.
Are you sure it's a toenail? Could be a thumbnail.
It could be. I didn't look close enough.
U2 frontman and human rights activist Bono was named to Glamour's annual Women of the Year list.
Wow.
Okay.
Joining a group that includes...
Oh, that's great news.
Yes, that's
I
right.
had no idea.
Yeah.
We should get together and do half a mani-pedi. Oh, look at this. It's Bono. It's Bono. I'm sorry.
Bono marks the first male honoree in the list's 27-year history. They had written, Glamour said, when a major male rock star who could do anything at all with his life decides to focus on the rights of women and girls worldwide, well, that's worth celebrating.
Then how come John Madden never made the list?
And they said, we're proud to name that rock star Bono our first man of the year. The magazine cited Bono's Poverty is Sexist campaign, which is
sexy?
Sexist.
Oh.
Which is specifically aimed at helping the world's poorest women. Poverty is
Do you wanna know
sexy.
what's very sexy? The impoverished. The way they just hold on to you tightly, it's very sexual. And sometimes they'll lean in close to your mouth to smell the food that you had. And it's so hot. Poverty's sexy. And you can always convince them to go home with you. To steal a Gary Shandling joke. Actually, Gary Shandling used to do that about the bag ladies.
Oh, my God.
It's so easy to convince them to go home with you.
I love that they lean in just to smell the food on your breath.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was a steak.
You don't even have any left? You ate it all?
But I have to bring home for the dog. You understand.
Oh, God. All right. The whole group of girls leaning into his mouth.
Ladies. There's enough breath to go around.
But he said, the sexist, the Poverty is Sexist campaign.
Poverty is sexy.
The Poverty is Sexy campaign is specifically aimed at helping the world's poorest women, those who survive on less than $2 a day.
Yeah, it's horrible.
The honorees will be celebrated November 14th at an event in Los Angeles hosted by actress Tracy Ellis Ross. So I don't know if Bono will be there. Maybe, I would hope he would show up for something like that.
I'm sorry I couldn't be there to your event tonight, but I'm too busy breathing on people and making their week. Providing a subtle yet wonderful reminder of what food tastes like. Why are we honoring him again?
Bono, humanitarian.
You owe it to yourself as a pure nightmare, as something so disturbing.
Yeah.
The last Bob Hope, his Christmas special.
Yeah, which were legendary.
Yeah. This one, the last one, it's like he should have been put to sleep years before.
You mean actually put down like a vet would put down a...
Yes, just the way you do to a sick dog. You don't want to let them suffer any longer.
We're their advocate, and if we don't take care of them...
Yes.
Yeah.
He had a good run.
And exactly. Exactly.
Like Ray Walston with the dog in Mice and Men.
Yes.
Yes. I'll do it if you can't.
Yeah. and it's funny. That brings me. I went on with Robert Osborne, and he asked me to pick movies to show, and one of them was the original of Mice and Men.
Lon Chaney Jr.
Yeah, Lon Chaney and Burgess Meredith.
Yeah. It's a masterpiece.
And that scene still works, the dog one.
If you are not a blobbering mess of slop when that's in both movies of the Gary Sinise as well, then you're an inhuman piece of filth.
Yes, and how it comes back later on in the movie where Lenny.
And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, let us do the beep file.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by You Dumb Bitch PR. No, actually. Brought to you by Sports and Social at Live Casino Phillies Fridays at Sports and Social Philly. Every Friday home game, you can enjoy free caricature drawings, Budweiser specials, giveaways, memorabilia, and more. Visit sportssocialphilly.com. I got some doozies for you today, friends. We're going to start with this. A police officer from San Diego resigned after an embarrassing incident emerged where he was forced to seek help from a fellow policeman after he became locked in the backseat of his own police cruiser with a woman he had arrested for suspected car theft.
It's insane that he would know that he would be locking himself in the car if he got in the back seat.
The officer identified, I think he was motivated by something. The officer identified as Anthony Hare. Had been assisting in the arrest of individuals suspected of car theft. One of the arrested individuals was a woman from an outstanding bench warrant. Officer Hare's body camera captured a conversation between him and the woman during the transport. The dialogue took a concerning turn when the woman made suggestive remarks towards Hare, including propositions for sex. Hare responded by requesting her to refrain from such conversations. She said, "Are you single?" He said, "Yeah, but you're not." And she said, "Well, I'm down to F right now."
Uh-huh.
And he goes, "Don't say that right now. Don't say that right now because everything is being recorded right now." After the officer's car approached a quiet neighborhood, communication between him and the woman dwindled. He then deactivated his body camera. GPS data indicated Hare's cruiser slowed to 7 miles per hour before turning onto a dark residential street near the destination. It stopped at about 1:35 in the morning.
Here comes the humping.
20 minutes later, Hare contacted a fellow officer inquiring about a master key for patrol cars. He revealed that he was locked in the back seat with the woman and requested assistance. After over an hour in the back seat together, a supervisor arrived to unlock the door. In subsequent interviews, Hare maintained that he was merely checking on the woman and that the door accidentally locked behind him.
Of course.
He also explained that his body camera was dislodged when he exited the cruiser. Despite the officer's explanation, the investigation revealed traces of semen on his belt.
Oh, man.
That's lucky semen.
The latter woman denied any inappropriate behavior during their time in the cruiser. Hare tendered his resignation less than a month after the incident. A fellow officer described Hare's demeanor during the incident as panicked. His account, along with the woman's denial of misconduct, formed the basis of the investigation.
Wow.
Dude was busted.
Screwed it up big time.
All right, this
All
is
for some semen on your belt.
This is another great story. A man in Michigan had his bail revoked and was forced to turn himself in after he joined a video court hearing for driving with a suspended license while he was driving. Yep. He did this video.
I mean, and the revelation comes to him eventually way too late, but he's like, oh my God, how could I be so stupid?
Corey Harris joined his court hearing from his driver's seat, holding his cell phone and actively driving, violating Michigan's hands-free driving law, by the way. He was charged in April after reportedly driving with a suspended license.
He's driving with a suspended license.
When Harris joined the Zoom hearing, Judge Cedric Simpson immediately asked if he was driving. It was the first words out of his mouth. He said, "I'm pulling into my doctor's office. Give me a second." It takes about a minute before Harris parks the vehicle. After looking at the documents in front of him, Judge Simpson's tone becomes more serious, and he said, "Maybe I don't understand something. This is for driving while license suspended," he asked. And then the attorney says, "That is correct, Your Honor." He said, "And he was just driving, and he doesn't have a license." And the lawyer says, "Those are the charges, Your Honor." "Yes." And he goes, "No, I'm looking at his record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended, and he was just driving right now." And then the lawyer goes, "That is correct, Your Honor." He said, "I don't even know why he would do that."
The lawyer and the judge is like, he's shrugging his shoulders and like looking around the courtroom like, is anybody catching this?
Yeah. Did you send audio over this?
It should be over.
Steve, or...
do not.
Okay. So anyhow, he said, "I don't know why he would do that." And he was shaking his head. He said, "Defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. The defendant must turn himself into the county jail by 6 p.m. Future to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond." And the guy just goes, "Oh."
But there are these pregnant pauses where it's like, what?
Yeah.
You're on a Zoom. You could have done it without video.
Yep, absolutely. All right, we're going to move on. It's over a minute long. All right, the hosts of an Australian radio show were left horrified after a woman called into their program claiming that she fed her grandmother's ashes to her brother as a prank.
That's a hell of a prank.
That is so funny.
Yeah,
the woman, known only as Cheyenne, made the macabre confession on Tuesday, saying that she and her mom first sampled her nan's remains before later serving them to her unsuspecting sibling in a pasta sauce.
And that lasagna were used tampons.
So she said, "So my nan passed away in August last year and got cremated. Obviously, my family and myself were grieving. So I went over to mom's one night and I thought to cheer her up a bit, let's just taste nan." After that, after I did it once, I got my mom to do it because I didn't want to be alone in it. Cheyenne went on to tell her the radio host that her brother had recently been released from prison, and she welcomed him home by having him taste the ashes without his consent.
my God.
She said, we hadn't lived with each other since we were young kids, so I thought it would be funny to prank him. And I put some of Nan's ashes in the pasta sauce. She didn't disclose whether she told her brother about the sauce's addition, but she has since sampled her grandmother's ashes again. She confessed that
She's a lunatic.
has a weird addiction to the ashes and believes that eating them helps her to connect with her late grandmother.
Of course it does.
She said,
if you want to connect even more, eat a fresh body.
She said, I feel like we're closer than ever. Nan will live on throughout me forever.
So you assume that if a body's been incinerated, cremated that way, that any sort of disease or lingering aspect would be eliminated. But I don't think it can be good for you.
No. All right. And then one last story. This one's wild and horrible. A person has died after falling into a running aircraft engine at Amsterdam's Schiphol Airport.
Jesus.
Dutch military police are investigating the incident, which happened yesterday and involved a person ending up in the engine of a KLM Airlines jet, which was about to take off on a flight for Denmark. Investigation into the circumstances of the incident are ongoing. It is not known if the incident was an accident or suicide.
Oh, man.
All passengers and crew on board the plane were safely removed and are being supported. KLM, which is part of France KLM, said it was investigating. A statement read a fatal incident took place during which person ended up in a running aircraft engine. Sadly, this person died. We are currently taking care of the passengers and employees who witnessed the incident. The circumstances are currently under investigation.
Jeez.
Wow.
You ever see the footage of the guy on the flight deck of an aircraft carrier? Actually got sucked into an engine.
I did.
Blown out the back and survived.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, and there you go. That is what I have in the bizarre file for you at this point in time. So our friends from Rita's have brought us some goodies to give away to you. And I have a $25 gift card for caller number 15 at 215-263 WMMR. Rita's new Kool-Aid and Tropical has arrived, and you can try it in 5-layer gelati or an ice blender drink. Available for a limited time only, so make sure you stop by your Rita's today. Caller number 15, 215-263 WMMR. It is yours. We'll take a break, and shortly, Pauly Shore is arriving.
Yes.
So we'll get him in the studio. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR. In MMR's early days.
Girl.
Yeah.
And George goes, oh, no. And it comes back because, like, earlier, when they find out Lenny killed a girl, that the old man says to George, he goes, I shouldn't have let him kill my dog. I should have killed him.
Yes. Right. Oh, my God.
It's just so upsetting.
Yeah.
But you realize now George has to go after Lenny.
No. And so you would have done the same with Bob Hope down by the river?
So there's a scene.
Yeah.
You could find it on the internet.
Okay.
Where he's dressed up as Jack Frost with a big pointed hat and a little beard. And it's like, he has no idea his own name at this point. And when I watch this, I think, and his voice is like that, it's no longer the, hey, everybody.
I want to tell you.
Yeah. Now it's like, hey. And it's like, you watch it, and it looks like his wife's revenge. Like Dolores' revenge for all the screwing around that Bob Hope did on her.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah, we're watching it.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, look at him. The guy died 5 years before this was filmed.
I mean, I adore Bob Hope, but that's a mistake.
Oh, God.
Wow. Jesus.
How did we get on this topic?
Because because we needed him to. Gilbert makes the point that he should have been euthanized many years earlier.
Right.
Yes. And it's like Dolores is singing and dancing here. She's old, but she does what. And it switches back to him to go, that's me. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Cesar Romero, who played the Joker on Batman.
And did a brilliant job.
Yes. We should preface it with that. He did a brilliant job. And he was like, in his day, the Latin lover.
Absolutely.
And like
the mustache, the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. And he would be with all the beautiful actresses.
Yes.
But he in real life, he was gay.
Yeah.
And what he was into was he'd gather up a bunch of his boy toys. And he'd stand there.
How do you know this?
Trust me. He would pull down his pants and underwear, and depending on who you hear it from, you always hear slight variation. Some people said he stood ankle deep in warm water.
Ankle deep in warm water.
I guess it added to it. And while these boy toys would fling orange wedges at his ass.
Oh my God, what the?
And so
you've told that on this show, but I still love hearing it.
I love it.
I just the level. I mean, I think I told you the story that I heard, and this is one that I've heard from a few sources, but about Raymond Burr. Have you heard that?
Well, I mean, I know a gay, but I didn't hear any.
His deal was he had a clear picnic table.
Oh, wait a second. Wait.
We have to watch how we say it.
Now, I heard it with Danny Thomas.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, okay, so I don't believe any of it now.
And with Danny Thomas, if you ask the right people.
All right. Which means some of these stories might lack credibility, but they're still fun.
They'll say, oh, you mean make room for duty? Or the other one is make poo for daddy. And that I heard it with Danny Thomas that he would have a glass coffee table. And hired hookers to take a dump on the table. And
he'd be underneath it.
And now a variation I heard is sometimes
somebody from the Fresh Beat Band.
See, well, now I heard the Fresh Beat Band is hired out to take a dump on people's tables.
They don't have a show anymore, so they gotta,
But
extra fresh.
I heard, judging by who you hear it from, that Danny Thomas would sometimes wear a priest outfit.
A priest outfit.
Dear God.
See, here's the deal with this stuff, and I think there's a lot of this that's been embellished, but the truth of the matter is you were dealing with a lot of wealth.
Yes.
So if your inclination was to do anything sort of perverted, you had a total resource.
But how the hell do you find out that you like standing ankle deep in warm water and having people throw orange wedges at your ass? At some point or another, it's got to happen by accident, or you need to hear about it.
Oh, that felt good.
Wow.
And then by accident, how does it happen by accident?
Well, here's I was shopping.
How do you all of a sudden are in a room with someone, bare ass, and they throw an orange wedge at your ass?
So you think of the possible scenarios. You go to an outdoor proctologist. A flash flood occurs. You're in mid-exam, and he, while picking up something to throw over to you, or throw you an umbrella, his lunch is on the table.
Right,
with his orange wedges.
Out of excitement, he knocks it off the table, and an orange wedge hits you in the ass.
And he's like, oh, sweet mystery of life.
Yes. So I think
you can't just wake up in the morning and go, oh, it'd be a real turn on an orange wedge hitting me in the ass.
The Fox News Channel's Megyn Kelly writes in her new book about being sexually harassed by the network's former head, Roger Ailes, who was ousted earlier this year amid similar allegations from several women.
I want to fart in your face.
Is that Ailes?
Oh, my God.
That big slob. The
hell is going on?
He just impresses me as such a disgusting guy.
That's his thing?
That's his thing.
I did not know.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I want to fart in your face.
Oh, my God.
You've seen him, right? He's like something out of Dune. He's like one of the,
Baron von Harkonnen. Vladimir Harkonnen.
He really just looks really bad. He should be hooked up to the. She comes into the room. He's hooked up to the hoses flying in the air.
Come over here. I want to fart in your face.
It's so gross. Can't deal with it.
And who would come over there?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Certainly no professional.
I was not expecting that. Yeah, he's got massive jowls, man. Big time.
and
We're
he's-
looking at a picture of him right now.
He's done it with a few women. It's just horrific.
So, in a chapter of her upcoming book, Kelly writes about Ailes that he offered to advance her career in exchange for sexual favors and made physical advances against her that she rejected, including, quote, trying to grab me repeatedly and kiss me on the lips. She writes that when she shoved Ailes away, quote, he asked me ominous questions like, when is your contract?
Because I can make them on demand. Come on, lean in close. You're going to like this. It's cheese.
I got to take a breath here. Saw this interesting article.
We'll determine that.
All right. It is by psychotherapist Abby Rodman. Now, it is about various types of affairs that can take place in a relationship. Now, we just think of one type of affair, the physical affair. But there are more than one of those.
This is interesting. Explain.
I shall. There is the emotional affair. Okay. One partner in this type of affair, one partner is starving for an adult emotional connection, and they've usually given up on getting it from their spouse. The partner may be depressed and not feel like themselves anymore. Then someone they know, a coworker, for instance, pays attention to them.
Yeah, you've heard the term like work wife and work husband.
Yes, yeah, and I can see that. To me, that always just constitutes a good friend.
Yeah, but I think a work wife is more. You let your actual wife know about your work wife. You don't let your actual wife know about an emotional affair.
I think that might be the case, yes. The partner usually, but however it says here, the partner usually justifies the emotional affair because they see it
Great
as
handies.
the lesser of two evils. No, there are no handies.
Oh, there are no
involved
handies. I'm sorry.
In the
that
emotional
would be
affair.
physical. You're right.
Well, and that's dumb. It's a hand.
Yeah, it's a hand. It's not even a vagina.
The point of that.
There's
That's like not even cheating.
There's your motto, Steve.
Wait, did you say Kathy just justified that handies aren't even cheating?
This just in. This sexual world was rocked by the revelation that since a handy is not a vagina, it's not cheating. Men of all walks of life hurried out of work running home.
Breaking news.
No, it says they.
Turns out it's not cheating.
The president.
If you ever thought that was bad, Kathy says it's not. Because it's not even a vagina.
You remember a while back we received a coconut in the mail.
Yeah.
Somebody just put an address on and mailed it and didn't know you could do that. So I asked for other odd items to be sent to us through the mail. Well, we've gotten a few of them.
What'd you say right now is the most unique thing we've received? Would it be the coconut?
No, I think it's that rewinder.
The rewinder? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
tape in here.
Is there?
Oh.
What is it?
Let's see what
Play
it
it.
is.
It's got to be porn.
No, it's not.
What is it?
Oh my god.
What is it?
All right. Hang on. Let's play a little game.
Oh.
I love little games. I will reveal cast characters to you.
Oh, it's like the Leonard Maltin game.
Yeah.
With Doug Benson.
Mm-hmm.
Doug loves movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's.
You gonna pull up the cast?
Yeah. I was not expecting this. All right. So.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna start with the star or a little further down on the list?
Where do you want me to start, Preston and Steve?
Key grip.
No, you want to go like on the list?
Yeah,
of
go
five
with
down.
the co-stars. Yeah, 5 down.
5 down.
All right, fifth one down.
Yep.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Steve will probably get this.
5.
John Mahoney.
John Mahoney.
Ooh. The comedian?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Do you want to turn this into
Say
a giveaway?
anything?
From it was from Frasier's dad, right?
Yeah.
Say anything, probably. That's guess number 1.
That's
Okay,
wrong.
no. All right.
Next, Michael Lerner.
That's a woman, right?
Yeah.
No,
From
that's a man. Michael Lerner.
No, I'm thinking Michael Learned.
Yes, from the Waltons. Played the mom.
Okay. I don't know.
Sixth Down. You want me to do Sixth Down because it's a bigger name?
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Spaced Invaders?
No.
Okay.
Do you want me to go down real quick?
I don't care.
It's a
Just
bigger
give us another name.
Tony Shalhoub was 6.
Tony Shalhoub. This isn't Galaxy. No.
No, because the others aren't in Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
Do you want me to give you the year of the movie by any chance?
Sure.
All right. The year of the movie was 1991.
Year was 1991.
Okay.
And Tony Shalhoub had just completed production of a major motion picture.
All right. Above Michael Lerner is
So Pauly Shore's on his way.
Yes.
So he's not here yet. We're going to get to him probably in the next segment, unless he arrives like in the next 5 or 10 minutes or whatever. But in the meantime, we've got some prizes, and I think we should play a game. And there's a game that we created not that long ago, and it's called Cinemusic.
Cinemusic.
Mr. Intro for us there. This has to do with songs in movies. And the way this is played is very simple. We play a song for you. Think about what movie comes to mind when you hear that music. We will do the same thing. We will each write down our guesses. Now, here's the deal. This is kind of random. It's not a lot of skill involved in this. A lot of it is on our end, and it's not necessarily a fair contest where if you come up with the right answer, you win. It's an interpretive game, so it's just a fun thing to play. We will also write down what movie we think of when we hear the song. If you match 3 of us, the majority of us here in the room, then you will win the prize that we have. Now, we came up with the new rules. Casey's idea when we got done last time. There were a couple of occasions where all 5 of us wrote down a different movie. And Marissa, did you play or no? Or did you just supply the music? She's the genius behind all the music. In fact, she can't play because she knows the songs. We don't know what's coming up.
She is.
Recuse
herself.
There were a couple of occasions when all 5 of us wrote down a different answer.
Because some songs are associated with multiple movies.
Absolutely. Yeah. Or we just couldn't think of a movie.
Or we're stupid
and we wrote one down.
Yeah.
Because we need to write something down.
Right.
If all 5 of us have a different answer, just get it wrong, so to speak, then you win.
Okay.
All right. So if we're really, really dumb and can't figure it out, you win on our stupidity.
2 ways to win. Either we are smart and get them all, or we're stupid and we don't get them, and you win both ways.
Exactly. So 215-263-WMMR. Remember, you got to match a majority of us, 3.
Yeah. I got to thank Marissa because she was the one who supplied us with our dry erase boards and our markers. And I know she did this on purpose. She gave me the green marker because she knows that's my favorite color.
Eagles.
Mhm.
She gave me blue, and I was going to ask for the blue.
Really?
Because I have a blue Sharpie around my neck.
Okay.
And so I don't know. She
She
just
gave me
didn't-
orange because of banana.
Bananas.
Yes.
I get it. All right. What color do you guys have?
I'm red to match my shirt.
God, I'm purple. I feel like I'm in preschool.
What's your favorite color, Kathy?
The end is purple.
You're royalty, Kathy.
All right, we'll go to the phones and we'll get this thing started. I'll have to re-explain it a couple of times, I'm sure, but that's all good. We are going to go to Owen. Owen, good morning. All right, Owen, we are playing Cinemusic. We will play a song for you. We will then all write down what movie we think of when we hear that song, and you will then tell us what you think of when you hear that song, and if you match 3 of us, you win. If all 5 of us get a different movie, you can win that way, too.
Multiple ways to win.
Yeah, all right, you ready to play, Owen?
Yep.
All right, let's roll this song, and we'll all jot down our answers. Here we go.
It's the preamble to a song I think we're getting to.
I don't know.
I don't know
Find
this
out.
song.
Hang on. Maybe right about now.
Oh, my God. All right.
Sweetest smile.
All right.
Wow.
Dear little buttercup, won't you stay a while? With me where moonbeams paint the sky.
Now, this is only in one movie, if I remember.
But I might linger in the sweet by and by.
All right, we'll go to Owen now. All right, Owen, is there a movie you think of when you hear that song?
It's the movie where the breakup.
The breakup.
The breakup.
With Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston?
Okay, he's saying the breakup. Let's go around the room and let's see. Nick, what do you have?
I'm not 100% sure, but I said The Jerk.
All right, Kathy, what do you have?
Love Story.
And Steve?
I said The Jerk.
And Case?
I said Three Amigos.
And I said Three Amigos. That's what it's from.
It's Three Amigos.
Owen? Sorry, bud.
It's not in The Jerk at all?
No.
No.
Okay. Now, there's a song that he sings with Bernadette Peters
Right, that's what maybe
together.
that's
But no, this is the three of them. They go into the Mexican bar and they don't. They decide to do a little number for everybody in the
different Steve Martin movie.
I need something to erase this with, Case. Thank you. I appreciate
Use your shirt.
yeah, right. All right, so My Little Buttercup. Casey and I sing it from time to time. That's how we know it so well. All right, we will go to our next caller. It is Paul. Hey, Paul. Gadzooks, Paul. All right, we are playing Cine Music. You know how it goes?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's roll a song for you. And we don't know what these are until then.
Oh, it's a classic. The Graduate.
The Graduate. All right, let's start with Kathy. What'd you write down,
No,
Kathy?
not that. The Notebook.
The Notebook. Steve.
The Graduate.
Casey.
Wayne's World 2.
Wow. I wrote down The Graduate. Nick.
The Graduate.
We got a winner.
Casey is correct, though.
But mine is the Lemonheads version. Is in Wayne's World 2.
in that movie too. Yeah, they're doing a mock of the.
Yep. All right, Paul, we got something for you. What do we have?
Paul, this is great. You have a pair of passes for an advanced screening of episodes 1 and 2 of the new Star Wars series, The Acolyte. Kathy's super excited about this one. It's going to be this Monday, June 3rd at 7 p.m. at the UA King of Prussia. Go to WMMR.com for another chance to win. The online entry deadline for that is going to be Monday at 10 a.m. And each guest receives free popcorn and a special edition poster. Star Wars, The Acolyte. Don't miss the 2-episode premiere streaming June 4th only on Disney+.
All right, we'll get another caller as we're playing Cine Music. It's Joe who is online. Yo, Joe, morning, bud.
Gadzooks, good morning.
Gadzooks, sir. All right, Joe, we're going to cue up a new song. You ready?
Yep.
All right, let's see what this reminds you of. What movie you think of. Joe, what movie do you think of?
Well, I hope you guys know what you're doing, but that's Titanic.
That's Titanic. All right, I wrote Titanic. Nick, what did you write down?
Titanic.
Kathy.
Titanic.
Steve.
Dances with Wolves.
Dances with Wolves. Titanic. Casey.
I wrote Titanic.
We got a full clean sweep. That was too easy.
Casey, I did the same thing.
You did? You wrote Titanic?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because we're children.
Joe's a winner. Hang on the line. Here is what we have for you, Joe.
All right, Joe, this is pretty cool as well. You are going to win a pair of tickets to see Ellen DeGeneres. MMR rocks Ellen DeGeneres, Ellen's last stand-up. That's going to be on Wednesday, July 31st at the Academy of Music. Tickets go on sale for that show on this Friday at 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster.
Titanic.
Yeah.
Titanic.
Okay. Yeah, that entertained me.
Gotcha.
Is Ellen coming on the show, Casey?
Yeah, she's with Pauly Shore right now on her way.
I'll be here shortly. All right, we're going to go to Adam next. Adam, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning to see you. Adam, you ready to play Cine Music?
Yeah.
All right, let's roll a song. Just what movie do you think of when you hear this song?
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking.
I know what it is. I can't think of the name of the movie.
I really hate the trip, but I gotta low. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of dude that the homies wanna be like on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light. Been spending
Okay. All right, let's see. Adam, what movie do you think of when you hear that?
Michelle Pfeiffer, The Substitute. I can't remember the name of the movie.
The Substitute. We'll go with that.
yeah.
All right, what do you have, Steve?
Dangerous Minds.
All right, Casey, what do you have?
Dangerous Minds.
Nick.
Dangerous Minds.
I just wrote Dangerous because I couldn't remember Minds.
You
had a D. All right, sorry, Adam. No dice. I could not think of the title of that damn song. That's where she's a school teacher in South Central Los Angeles.
She does karate. She's a former Marine.
She's got former Marine.
Oh, that's believable.
Right. She's tiny. All right, so let's see. Who are we going to go to next? We have Bob on the line. Hey, Bob, good morning.
Bob!
All right. Bob! I think I threw mine away.
All
right, I need an eraser. Sorry.
Got you, bro.
All right, Bob, you ready to play?
Absolutely.
Listen closely to the song. Think about what movie comes to mind. When you hear that song?
I have to go with Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids. All right, Nick, what do you have?
Bridesmaids.
All right, Kathy.
Bridesmaids.
All right.
Bridesmaids.
Steve? Casey.
Bridesmaids.
I wrote Whip It.
Oh.
It's actually, there's a scene in the movie, because I've only seen Bridesmaids one time, and I forgot they all sing it, right?
Yeah.
There's a scene where the coach on the roller derby team pulls up in his vehicle, and he's got it blasting really loud.
Okay, all
So
right.
that's why I thought of that. But the best part about this is Bob's a winner.
All right, Bob, you won a pair of tickets to see Gary Clark Jr. Saturday, June 8th at the Met Philadelphia. Tickets are on sale right now via Ticketmaster. You can go to WMMR.com for another chance to win tickets.
Nice. All right, next caller, we will go to Fred. Yo, Fred, morning, bud.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Wonderful, sir. How have you been doing in the game? You been playing along?
Yes, I have.
All right. Well, let's see.
Yes.
Let's see how you do with a fresh one. You all set?
Let's go.
What? We'll go to Fred. All right, Fred, what movie do you think of when you hear that?
That was Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire, okay.
All right, Case, what do you have?
I got Blood Diamond.
All right, Kathy?
10 Things I Hate About You.
Steve?
Lincoln.
All right, I wrote Saving Private Ryan. Nick?
Jerry Maguire.
Oh,
he wins.
He wins.
He wins.
If all five of us have a different answer, you win as well. So even though you didn't get three of us correct, all of us got it wrong.
Yep.
And that means Fred is a winner. So hang on the line, Fred. We'll get you a prize.
Scene in Lincoln where that is playing.
Oh, and in Saving Private Ryan when they're storming the beach.
Yeah.
It's been used in so many movies.
It's so applicable. He's going into the theater.
I used to think that scene in Jerry Maguire was cheesy, and then I realized that Jerry's just looking for a song that he can belt it out and sing along to, and it's just pure joy that he's feeling, and he settles on Free Falling, so it makes me appreciate that scene more and that song more.
What was the...
He signs Kush, he signs Jerry O'Connell to the contract.
Okay.
He's leaving the house, and he's like finally retained somebody that's going to be important for his business, and he's super psyched, and he gets in the car, and he just wants to sing along to a song, and he scrolls through a bunch of songs that don't appeal to him, including like a Rolling Stone song and some other good tunes, and then he lands on Free Falling, and he just starts belting it out. It's a terrific scene.
Excellent. Well,
Nice.
we got a winner. What do we have?
So for Fred, you won a $50 Rita's gift card. Make sure to get out to Rita's and try their brand new Kool-Aid Tropical Punch ice. Oh, yeah. You don't want to miss this one. Try it in your new favorite Rita's Treats, but get there quick as it's available for a limited time only.
All right, we got another caller on the line. This one is Don. Hey, Don, morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you all doing?
We're good, bud. We are playing cinema music. You ready to try this?
Absolutely.
All right, think about what movie comes to mind when you. When you hear that song.
Dear God, I don't even have an idea where it can come from. I'm just going to say Batman.
Batman. All right, let's go around the room. Nick, what do you have?
I go Wedding Singer.
Kathy?
Oh, that Wedding Singer.
Yep, Steve.
Wedding Singer.
Casey?
Oh, man, Sophie's choice.
I had Wedding Singer, so unfortunately, Don, no dice. Sorry, buddy. All right, see you, bud. Thanks for playing. All right, we got time for another one or two?
Yeah.
How's the ETA?
Yeah, I don't
Any
even
ETA on Paulie yet?
I haven't checked my phone. Give me a second here.
Take a look there, and then I'll get our next caller.
ETA, actually.
We're ready to go.
He is. He should be here any second.
There you
go. We're good. We can play another one.
So we'll do one more. All right, let me go to Rocco. Hey, Rocco. Morning, bud. Is this Rocco? Okay, we'll move on to
Did Kathy ever ignore you at a big event?
We'll go to Julie. Hi, Julie. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Julie Jerkoff. You ready to play?
Let's roll.
All right, this is our Cinemusic song. What movie do you think of?
Well, it's a pretty tough one, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman. Let's see. I wrote down Pretty Woman.
I did not.
Nick, what'd you write down?
I wrote down Dumb and Dumber.
Ah, Kathy.
Pretty Woman.
Steve.
Pretty Woman.
Dumb and Dumber's good, but I went Pretty Woman.
All right, we got a winner. Julie.
What gave it away?
Wins. Hang on a second, Julie. By the way, Nick, what scene in Dumb and Dumber?
When they are getting dressed up and then they go to the salon and Lloyd's having his nails done. And
Getting his hair cut?
Yeah,
and all that?
yeah.
He's getting the sparks are flying over his toenails.
I love it. All right, what do we have for Julie?
For Julie, we have a $50 Rita's Water Ice gift card. You can go to Rita's and help support Alex's Lemonade Stand. Guests can purchase paper lemons for $1, and you can write their names on them, place them on the Alex's Lemonade Stand wall of hope, and donations collected will help pay for research to find better treatments and cures for childhood cancer.
Let's do one more.
Yeah.
Can we do one more?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm having fun.
All right, we'll go to Mike. Yo, Mike.
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks. All right, Mike, Cinemusic. I think you're going to be our last one. You ready to play?
Yes, sir.
All right, here is. Go to Mike again. Mike, what movie do you think of when you hear that?
I'm going to go with Mark Wahlberg, Fear, roller coaster scene.
Fear, okay. Okay. Casey, what'd you put down?
Same thing. It's the roller coaster scene from the movie Fear with Reese Witherspoon as well.
Oh, okay. Kathy, how about you?
Yep, roller coaster scene, Fear.
Wow. All right, Nick.
I put down nothing. I don't know that movie, and I didn't know that scene.
Oh, Steve, what'd
I
you
know
put
the
down?
scene. I didn't know the song. I put down Speed 2, obviously.
I wrote Citizen Kane because I had no idea whatsoever. Oh, man. Sorry.
Is that the finger blasting scene?
It is.
Yep.
All right. Sorry, bud. It's our stupidity. Or me and Nick and Steve didn't get it right. But whatever.
Casey and I were
I'm stupid, too.
You guys were spot on, man. All right. So, yeah, that's all we're going to have time for, I think, right?
Marissa just said, if this doesn't go right, do one more. You guys will like the last one.
All right.
So is that song number 49?
F it,
That's
do
the order I'm going in? Okay.
All right. We'll do one more then. All right. Let me go to Carmen. Hi there, Carmen.
I'd like to apologize to Kathy for calling her a dumb bitch.
I'd like to apologize.
That was brilliant.
Well done.
Terrific.
All right, Carmen, you are officially the last one. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see what movie you think of when you. All right, Carmen, what movie do you think of when you hear that?
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers. All right, Nick, what do you have?
Austin Powers.
All right, Kathy.
Austin Powers.
Dave.
Austin Powers.
A winner already. Casey.
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers, a clean sweep. Done and done. Easy. Carmen, you're a winner. Here's what we have for you, sir.
$50 to Rita's Water Ice.
25, I think, Case.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. The one sheet said 50.
I'll
What is
cover
it,
the extra
Marissa?
20.
That says 50. This says 25. I'm going to go with that one.
Somewhere between $25 and $50.
Can we give him two?
Do yourself a
listen.
favor and don't order too much.
Whether it's $25 or $50, it's a great day for Rita's. You can head out to Rita's and try the new Kool-Aid Tropical Punch Ice. Add some of Rita's delicious creamy frozen custard and make a gelati. Get all of your favorite frozen treats and find your happiness at Rita's.
Excellent. All right, well, I love this game.
Yes.
And Marissa apparently has loads and loads and loads of songs. We could do this again sometime
Excellent.
in the near future. So thank you for playing Cine Music this morning with the Preston and Steve Show. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a moment. And Paulie Shore should be arriving shortly. Going to be at Helium Comedy Club tonight and through the weekend as well. So we'll come back in a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.
Judy Davis.
I don't know who that is.
A great actress, and she played many biographies. She also played Judy Garland.
Okay.
All right, next one up. Second down is John Goodman.
Ooh.
Wow.
King Ralph?
No.
No. 'cause-
Not a comedy. How about that?
Oh,
comedy.
The Babe.
No.
The Bitch.
No, that was Joan Collins. Looks a lot like
How's our
John
text-
Goodman these days.
How's our text board? Did they? Any
I'm not
guesses?
checking.
I'm not looking.
All right,
You
go
only
ahead.
look.
One more.
All right.
The main star.
So John Goodman,
Tony Shalhoub, John Mahoney.
and it was not a comedy.
It was not a comedy. All right, so it's something very powerful, would we say? Is it DC Cab?
I've only heard of this movie. I've never seen it.
All right. So you only have one name left.
I have one name left,
Probably Citizen Kane then.
and it's the title character.
Okay.
I almost said the name of the movie.
Yeah.
John Turturro.
Oh, Barton Fink.
There you go.
Son of a bitch.
Never heard of it.
Coen Brothers.
Never even heard of that movie.
It's very trippy.
Well, now you can watch it,
obscure.
Preston.
Yeah, right.
In beautiful VHS.
Well, we just
Someone get a VHS player and put an address on it. Send it to us.
Yeah.
Undefeated Records. Eric, good morning.
Hey, you guys rock. Uma Thurman needs to work.
Yeah.
Everybody's heard about the bird. Wow.
Case, how did you just do that? Do that
They're
again.
all right next to each other.
Do it again.
Everybody's heard about the bird.
Nice work. All right, Eric, what's up, man? Tell us about your perfect record.
When
When I was in the military, we went down to Haiti in like 96 around then for deployment. From the time we got on the Eisenhower to go down, which was like mid-September, we were down there about 5-6 months. For 3.5 months, me and my best friend were undefeated in the card game Spades.
How do you play spades?
Do you know how to play hearts?
A little bit.
It's basically hearts, but with spades.
Hey, now spades is a partner game, right?
Yeah. It's usually played 4 people, 2 to a team.
Okay. There's a Stephen King book called Hearts in Atlantis. You need to read that. It's a very there's a whole segment about the game of hearts that I think you'll dig, man.
Yeah, I played.
Cool.
Thanks, Eric. We'll
I
see
played
ya.
hearts and pinochle, and so spades is kind of like a combination of those two. I got to tell you, when it comes to spades, there was a giant bone of contention between my circle of high school friends. There's a scene in Boys in the Hood where I think Ice Cube says, "Yo, y'all want to bust some spades?" And my friend, and still to this day, thinks he says spags. And I'm like, spags isn't a thing. It's not a game.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I just needed your
peanut brittle.
This just in. Clarification on dialogue that appeared in the movie Boys in the Hood so many years ago. There's no such thing as spags. We know it as Jimmy Leshevsky at the Pentagon. Jim, how about this whole Boys in the Hood conundrum? I was confused by it, honestly. I thought he said spags. But I thought to myself, there is no such thing as that, right? Thanks, Jim. Thanks always. Very, very insightful commentary.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go to Tyler. Has a record. Hey, Tyler. Good morning.
Good morning. Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, buddy. All right, so we're talking about people having a perfect record. What about you?
All right. I got a perfect record for getting stoned every single day and going to school and getting straight A's.
Straight A's. You got so you were an exemplary student, though you were stoned absolutely every. Now, would that be Monday through Friday, just school days, or were you?
No, every day.
Every day.
Wow. And you got straight A's.
Straight A's. I'm like a teacher's pet. Like the teacher has to say, Tyler, like we know you know the answer. Just stop raising your hand at this point.
Were you the teacher's supplier?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't sell drugs.
Okay, good.
All right.
So you're like the champion of drug addicts.
Sure.
Yeah.
For getting good grades.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that's it's a little bit of a contorted title, but it is a title.
That's it. Listen, yeah,
it's
absolutely.
undefeated.
I'll take anything that you want to tell us about.
What
Thanks,
are you
man.
the champion of then at that point?
Of beating the odds, I guess.
Yes,
right?
of course. Yeah.
I don't know.
He didn't have to smoke resin one time. He always, right?
What's that? I'm not understanding.
When you run out of weed, you just you get like a paper clip or whatever, and you scrape out all the resin in your apparatus, and you
Casey,
smoke that.
I used to be called Captain Blackfingers.
Captain Black. Look at you, Cheech and Chong over here.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
If you don't actually have the leafy substance.
Captain Blackfingers.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, a lot of people still want to watch reruns of The Cosby Show on television. In a Twitter announcement yesterday, Bounce TV said, "You asked and we heard you loud and clear, bouncers. We're bringing back The Cosby Show by popular demand."
I don't know if I have Bounce.
No, and you know what? Well, I don't know either, but Seventh Heaven is playing in syndication. We were talking about that last week.
Yeah, you figured how would you do that?
Yeah, but if people want to see it.
Stephen Collins was admitted to sexual contact with a 10-year-old girl.
Yeah.
To me, I would find it difficult to believe him as a preacher in that show.
Yeah.
And Cosby is the ultimate dad at this point, I think, is not workable.
Well, it's old, and people might have they might look past that and just look at the characters as opposed to the people actually playing them.
You think so? I should revisit the Charles Manson sitcom.
What was that? I don't remember. Was that back in Oh, it was like a family sitcom, or
Squeaky, I hear you got a bad grade today. Why didn't you go out and kill a white pig?
I'm home. Look, that's
just
the
with
opening.
a crazy look on his face in the door. I'm home.
That's the opening shot. Oh God!
And they're at the Spawn movie ranch there.
Oh my God!
Wait a second. This isn't my knife. It's a melon baller. The voice in my head says we're going out for ice cream.
And then there's the episode where he carved the swastikas in their forehead. Oh,
I don't like it.
Yeah.
You never like anything. I think it makes me look Nazi-ish. I just think it's going to be an issue when you apply for jobs. I'm much to my own drummer, woman. Now go kill someone.
All right.
Leave as little circumstantial evidence as possible. Who's laughing? He goes, you can laugh
aware of the audience.
What the hell? Can't you hear that? Who are you?
All right.
That's on Bounce as well. That's the lead-in.
The show was...
It's Manson and Cosby for the Power Hour.
The show was syndicated in 1988, and various networks showed reruns up until 2014, when TV Land, Bounce TV, and BET all stopped airing the show due to the sexual assault allegations.
Cosby and Manson doing press together for the...
Oh, my God. At a conference. There were a couple pieces of audio you wanted me to play, Steve?
Oh, yeah. Yoko. I think she posted this on her Facebook account, Yoko Ono. She had an auditory reaction to President-elect Donald Trump.
Oh, wait. Is this
okay. It's real.
Is it words or is it...
You tell me.
It's an auditory reaction.
Tell me. In classic Yoko fashion, and this was a message to her followers, and to her followers, this means something.
Okay, here we go. I haven't heard this yet.
Okay. You know what that sounds like? You know when you have a balloon, and you let the air out, but you put it in your mouth and you go, ow, wow,
Marissa,
wow, wow, wow.
can we find a balloon, please?
Do you know what it also sounds like?
No, I mean an actual balloon around here.
I got it.
Casey's got it. We need a real balloon.
A real man's balloon. We got
those
condoms.
are gigantic. Look at this.
All right, well, go ahead, blow it
It's
up.
a weather balloon,
It's
for
a
Christ's sake.
douchebag is what it is.
Either we have a tiny balloon or a Zeppelin.
It's a hot water bottle.
The hell is
this
that?
Won't work.
It might.
All right, try it.
He's going to pass out trying to blow it up.
And you know what? Preston is actually really good at just picking up wind instruments, so you might be able to actually recreate this.
He might be a virtuoso.
Yeah.
All right, we'll play it for him while he's blowing.
Okay. All right, stop.
Got it.
What the hell's going on?
Trying to lick it.
Stop laughing. This is serious.
Yes, come on. You don't have to get it right up on the mic.
Maybe Yoko is
I can't
talented.
Get it to squeak.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
All right,
Here we go.
Sounds like a heart.
No, gotta take it back.
I need a different balloon.
Not going to work.
Go to promotions. Get me. God damn it! Give me a real balloon.
And where's those balloons I requested? Can't come out of a Green Day song into a balloon segment.
You can't come out of Yoko Ono.
Yoko Ono into a balloon segment. Shut that bitch up.
Can you do the exploding Yoko for me, Steve?
Sure. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite bits of all time. Let me know when you're ready.
Well, we're good to go. That's what she sounds like.
Her voice is hurting my ears.
It's just annoying. And please, the enablers.
Stop putting microphones in front of her face.
I would say the people that supported Hitler and enabled Hitler.
Who does she have around her?
Yeah, they're just as bad.
They're
so talented.
It's not doing the mouth thing. It's not with them.
Who the hell is doing that?
It was Nick. It was the balloon.
You got to go like this, Preston.
Jesus.
you actually saying woo while you're doing that? No, stop that.
Why? It's added to it.
He asked you a question.
That's not hurting your ears? You would get you'd get a more pleasant sound if you ran over a cat with a lawnmower.
This is terrible.
Okay.
Jesus. Well, that's her take on the whole election.
Who's doing that?
Should we stop?
Yes.
See if you can guess what song this is.
See if you can what?
See if you can guess what song this is.
Okay, all right, here we go. Oh, wait, we may have invented a new game. Here we go.
What?
That's just rhythm. That has no...
It's a song you should know. Oh,
It's
Oh, wait,
honestly,
that was Limelight.
yes, it was.
Seriously?
It was pulling up.
Do it again.
It took me a bit.
Can you do Crash Into Me?
That's hard. I can try. Let me get it for you.
Here, wait, hold on.
Steve's going to do it.
No, I can't.
Oh, you're just blowing up a balloon for
I
fun.
just like to blow balloons. I really, if you're having a prom or something coming up, give me a call.
Is this the dumbest thing we've ever done?
It's in there. It's in there.
Do we want to stay on sugary?
No, I need savory now.
Savory, okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll move on to savory. Let's see. Shake Shack is adding more chicken to its menu.
Okay.
It's just in.
Dude.
The Shake Shack adding more chicken to its menu. And landslide in Peru kills 100,000.
Hey, by the way.
We go down to Jimmy Gushevsky, who's at Shake Shack.
Are you leading with that?
By the way, speaking of landslides, they saved the 3 cows.
They did?
Yes, that were up on that.
How'd they get them down?
I don't know. I didn't read the full
They
story.
raised New Zealand.
Nick had it up earlier, but it was that New Zealand earthquake that caused a landslide, and there were 3 cows up on top of that little plateau.
Cows were terrified. They were full of milkshakes. Boom!
He was laughing at himself. He couldn't even get it out.
Wow.
That's a horrible joke.
That's so good. They were filled full of milkshakes.
Cows had milkshakes in them.
Because they were so scared. They were shaking.
I thought it was because the ground shook.
No. Hey, that's a good one.
It was an earthquake.
It was an earthquake, so they were full of milkshakes.
Got it. All right. Anyway, I don't know how they did it, Kathy. We'll follow into that later on. So anyway,
They shot him.
Back to Shake.
Somebody shot him and threw him off.
They had a helicopter with a machine gun
Look
on
at
it.
him.
They're saved. They have the Ride of the Valkyries.
The cows inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be Helium Comedy Club tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday as well. Multiple shows each night. And go to heliumcomedy.com to get the tickets. He was raised in a comedy club.
Oh, my
crying
God.
out, as he just
Royalty.
And I smell like it still, right?
Please welcome Pauly Shore. Hey, man.
Thanks, man.
Nice to see you again.
Just came right from the airport,
Are you ever
dude.
swear on this show?
No.
You can
I'm just
say
kidding. Relax. God, you guys. You
get away with some.
It's crazy. It's like we've all been through Chernobyl or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We've all been through war and we're still standing.
Yes.
You know, we look at each other and we're like, oh my God, we've been through it.
Yeah.
You know, you're saying we did this, you're saying we did that. You know, I come back in here. Thanks for having me, first of all.
Our pleasure.
But it's wild because I feel like I'm right now I'm like in a time capsule of 1986. You know what I mean? Because like I've been touring for 30 years, doing shows, touring all around. And whenever they ask me to do morning radio, I always say no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it because it's not what people do anymore.
Right.
Like morning radio doesn't really exist, but you guys are the last guys.
Are we the last guys standing?
I have to be here for this.
Yeah, we appreciate
this is
it.
big.
Yes.
I mean, listen,
But
this all
I'm
did
serious.
You're attending our
Crazy.
funeral.
Like I remember, okay, I would fly in from California to let's just say Houston, Texas.
Right.
Okay. And I would, the hours are already messed up.
Yeah.
and you land, and the limo guy picks you up, and they give you a key to your room. You wake up, and you got to get up at 6, and you 6 a.m., dude, and you get in the car, and the manager's there with a cup of coffee, right? And they give you a piece of paper with all the press you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With like the radio this, you're going here, you're going, you know what I mean? And that's how we used to roll.
Listen,
back then. It was always, for years, it was always like morning radio.
Grind.
Like, Fox News.
I'm glad we're the beneficiaries of it. But the one thing that never made sense to me in Preston, in all the years of different radio stations.
It's crazy.
Why didn't they bring you guys to the afternoon drive to the evening, right? It seemed like the better fit. Obviously, they want to. Usually, the morning show is supposed to have the widest net and hit the most people, so that's why they do it. But it just seemed weird that your hours are not conducive to this.
So when they told me about you guys, I'm like, yeah, I want to come in because I've known you guys for so many years.
Yeah,
and there's this history here, and you guys are like, the kings of Philly. And I want to say what's up to Philadelphia. It's Pauly Shore. Yo, dudes, I like a Chinese people, bro. Wow, man.
Oh, good. We're getting jet
got a
lag,
couple
Pauly.
of car crashes. Philly, dude, this is the real deal, dude. This is East Coast. I just flew in from Vegas, bro.
Did you really?
I haven't been to sleep. I was as a spearmint rhino last night. I'm on an 8-ball of coke.
Nice.
And I'm still no. I'm just kidding.
Did you go?
Yeah.
Was the Dead performing last night?
Is it what?
The Dead? Were they
No,
performing at the
I
Sphere?
saw. Why? Because I'm wearing a tie-dye shirt.
No. Just because they're there and you were there. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I'm actually pretty mellow these days.
Yeah.
I was. I think the last time we had you on, we've had you on a number of times, and every single.
Wait, stop, stop. What's this guy that looked like Ralph Cramden laughing about here?
Nick?
Why are you laughing?
I find you immensely entertaining, and I encountered you getting off the elevator this morning. You were going to the bathroom, and I was going to the bathroom, and it's just it's a fun morning when you're going to the bathroom at the same time as Pauly Shore. And then so we walked back into the offices together, and I offered you a cup of coffee because I knew that you had taken the red eye in.
Yes, sir.
And you were like walking away from me, and you're like, so badly, I need a cup of coffee. And so I ask you, how do you take it? And you say, at this point, just black. So I go and I get you the cup of coffee, and then I brought it back over to you, and you were polite and said thank you. And then it occurred to me in that moment, I wonder how often
he does the news for you guys.
No.
Right?
There's a question here. You asked who I was, and there's a quick explanation. But how often have you encountered celebrities that were unkind to you or a dick to you?
Man, I don't know. Now I have to think, dude.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next question. You go. Where's that piece of paper?
Yeah. So they're still gambling out in Vegas?
No, I don't know. I mean, it's different when people know you. Then it's different than you know what I mean. Like I was at Jason Derulo.
Yes.
Right. I was at the Venetian the other day or the other night, and T.I. was there.
Okay.
The rapper T.I. He was right next to me, and he was really nice. Really nice.
Okay.
To me. He pretty much kissed my ring.
Oh,
He kissed my ring. Hey, brother, man, you started it, bro. No, it's crazy because it's hard for me to I don't want to say accept love, but it's hard for me when people say things to me that I've done for them, like emotionally with my movies or stuff that I've done, because I just, I'm still just...
You're kind of humble at some level?
No, I'm just still in awe of the fact that whatever it is that I did stuck. I don't take it for granted.
Let me throw this out here,
You know
because
what
we
I'm saying?
talked
Like,
about
I'm
it.
still in shock.
You were
like,
raised...
It's hard for me to really accept when someone says something, and it's still very weird for me.
I think I know why to some extent. I mean, your mom, Mitzi Shore, the Comedy Store, legendary. And I was watching a documentary about stand-up comedy, and they make the case that a lot of the comedy that we know and have idolized for decades, the flashpoint was the Comedy Store and the efforts of your mom. So and what you guys as a family legacy did. But also, I wonder if growing up around that, you talk about kissing the ring and stuff like that. Did you have like a perception a lot of people might have been kissing your ass or whatever, because they wanted to get in your good graces?
Yeah,
Was it hard to figure out who was being a real friend?
Well,
and
I
who was
still don't know if you guys really like me for me. It's like, I don't know. Nick definitely doesn't. No.
So,
but no, that's a good...
Nick does,
no.
You know what I'm saying?
But no, that's part of the reason why I'm still single.
Huh.
Well, you're not vulnerable?
No, it's hard for me to trust.
Yeah.
You know, like it's hard for me. Like I have a friend of mine that just had a baby and he's 40 years old and he's been with his girl for 12 years. I'm like, you guys are faithful? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, it must be cool to have a ride or die woman with you. I go, I don't know if I'll ever have that.
Yeah.
You know, because every girl I meet or every woman I meet is, you know, they immediately think that. But once they get behind the Biodome or the MTV or the Son-in-Law, like they see I'm a nice guy, but still I have that insecurity thing or that question. Why don't we ask, what do you think?
Kathy.
What do you think?
Of you?
She's not even paying attention. She's on her TikTok, bro. Why is she on her TikTok, dude? That's not cool.
No, she's not.
No, just about you'd say. I don't want to say.
The question is, I posed the possibility that Paulie, because of the Comedy Store and all of the careers that were built, that people were perhaps. He might have thought over the long term that people were just trying to get in his good graces to get in at the Comedy Store. And so he has trust issues.
But also just why I'm still single.
All right.
For that reason.
Well, that's part of it. Yeah, like if someone likes me, do they like me for me? Or do they like me because, you know, I've been on TV or they see my... You know, they see my comedy or...
Well, I am a certified therapist, so...
Amazing.
I think...
Nick, you didn't tell me this is happening.
That's got to be a common problem for celebrities. It really has to be. Have you talked to other people?
But I'm not whining. Trust me, I'm not whining because in life you have to look at what you have, not what you don't have.
Yep.
And I have all this awesome, great stuff.
Right.
So I don't have everything.
Yeah, but have you given it a
to that.
chance and it's gone? Have you given it a chance and it's gone bad? Is that why?
I'm so leary of just even giving it a chance.
But then you got to give it a chance. Otherwise, you won't ever have that.
She's right, Paulie.
Yeah.
I bet it's worse in L.A. You know, like you grew up in it. It's the environment that you know so well, so you're comfortable with it. But getting outside of that environment where you could trust somebody and be vulnerable is challenging for you.
All I'm saying is that when you meet someone when you're younger and let's say a ride or die, you guys married?
Yes.
Yes. So
and I have my wife as my
ride or die. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know she loves you for you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You know she'll do anything for you. So, and I don't know if I'll ever have that.
Oh, man.
Play the sad music, bro. Play the sad music.
We'll get something for you.
How about this case?
No, but I'm not complaining about it at all. I'm just kind of like trying to still figure it out. Yeah.
Listen, all right. So, but you're very, very successful. You have a lot of things going on, and we would be remiss, Paulie, if we didn't immediately ask what's going on in the world of Richard Simmons.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on? Anything.
Now she's paying attention.
I love Richard Simmons.
Because we saw that first notion about you doing this biopic.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That does make sense. And then there was this short film that was circulated social media. It was The Court Jester. Is that what it is?
Court Jester.
Right. And you're playing Richard Simmons,
Yes.
and you're on the Ellen Show, and you know. He's now saying he's a lot more exposure than he's had in years. You might have been, in fact, I believe you are the reason that incited him to start getting out more in front of things. But now he himself is talking about a Broadway musical that he would like to have done. Where does it stand right now with you? Any inroads at all?
Well, we're moving forward with it.
Yeah, you're going to do it.
Yeah, it's called an unauthorized biopic.
Okay.
And Amy Winehouse. They just did one with Amy Winehouse. The Pamela and Tommy Lee one was unauthorized.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's more unauthorized biopics than authorized biopics.
You remember the Jimi Hendrix one? They couldn't get any of the licensing for the music, but they did it.
We've reached out to Richard. We still want him involved.
Yeah.
You know, it would be amazing to have him on the set and say, oh, I didn't do it this way. I did it this way. But the writer, Jordan Allen Dutton, came up with a great pitch. You know, it's very light. It's very fun with a lot of heart. I got great producers attached. Mark Walper, not Wahlberg, Walper, who's been at Warner Brothers for a long time. And we got our pitch. We got the producers, and we're basically just pitching people. We pitched Warner Brothers last week. The week before, we pitched New Line, and we're in that part of the process.
Are you going to direct?
No. No, we're going to get a director.
Okay.
Are you okay with him not being a part of it?
Yeah. I mean, because we're not coming at it in a place that's going to ever make him feel uncomfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because number one, you get sued.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't do that if it's called a discrepancy. What's it called? Like discrepancy?
Disparaging?
Disparage, yeah.
Yeah.
So, so we're not interested in that telling that story.
Okay.
We want to tell the story of a man that saved lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what he did. he saved lives. He, millions. I mean, so many people, and he,
How do you do a biopic without?
Why are you raising your hand when we're in class?
We don't talk over one another.
Oh, so that's it.
Yeah. Except for the guest.
The guest can talk over.
Guest can totally talk over. How do you do a biopic without doing a parody of that person, or like just an impression of them? You want to portray him, and you want to do it in a positive light. How do you enter that with that in your mind?
Well, because I'm an actor.
Yeah. So you pretend.
No, I become I study and I learn his moves.
I didn't mean that as an insult.
Yeah. I become the guy. I embody him. His moves, his energy, his feel, and his cadence, his dialect, his dance moves. If you watch the short movie I did, it's all there.
You're nailing it.
Yeah, so it was all kind of laid out, and that kind of right there. It's called The Court Gesture. It's on YouTube. It's got over 1 million views, and it's played not that what he said. You know what I mean? It could wind up being a Saturday Night Live sketch, but at the end of the day, I've been acting my whole life. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've been doing movies. All my movies that I did, I was acting. I wasn't playing myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
what time frame are we talking about when in this
it's
Unauthorized?
up to Hollywood right now. I mean, we're pretty much like...
No, what time frame of Richard Simmons' life?
I don't want to get into the story, because I don't want to put that out there right now of Jordan's take on it.
I gotcha.
But we heard a lot of takes. The way it worked is all the meetings are on Zoom now.
Yeah.
So all these writers they just pitched us, and this guy had a really fun, light, simple, sweet take.
Okay.
And it felt because I want it to be a comedy. I want it to be funny.
It has
I don't want
to
it to be all like he was so funny.
Right.
I mean, Richard Simmons was hilarious.
Agreed.
So every show he did was you couldn't stop watching him. So we wanted to be funny.
You had mentioned acting for a long time. The first thing I remember seeing you in was in 18 Again, George Burns.
Yeah.
Was that the first film you were in?
That was my first movie.
Okay. And you were playing a pretty...
Oh, no. I was in a movie called, I think it was Phantom of the Mall.
Okay.
Phantom of the Mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I did a movie called Wedding Band. I've done. Yeah.
Was Phantom of the Mall like a horror movie?
Yeah, it was like a horror movie.
Yeah,
okay. With Morgan Fairchild was in it.
Oh my God!
I mean, we're going back. This is the 80s.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's prime Morgan Fairchild territory.
When we think of your film roles, we think of comedy. Some of it really slapsticky. But that first thing, 18 Again, it was a pretty straight role.
Yeah.
That you played.
But all the movies, Encino Man, Son-in-Law, even Biodome, they had that third act kind of arc. The Army movie, they all had that third act thing, and that's what we want this to have as well.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's cool.
But I mean, Richard Simmons, deserves a comeback, and I also deserve a comeback.
Yeah.
I mean, Brendan Fraser, no one thought you know what I mean? He got an Oscar.
Yeah.
So I should get an Oscar. At least now. Why is she laughing, bro?
Agreed.
Not cool dude was the Chinese friends, bro. No, but it's just about the right role, the right time. We'll see. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. You know what? There's a perfect pairing, though. Richard Simmons and the Whale together. There you go.
There you go. He was the Whale back in the day.
He was almost morbidly obese, right?
Yeah, that was part of his motivation to become, to work out, and that's all in this guy's pitch. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you ever really want to tear into a real dramatic role?
Yes.
Yeah.
More than anything.
So
more than anything,
what do you see? What would you like to do? It's
anything
up
that
for grabs.
is going to surround me with people that are going to elevate me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I got a call from a director that what the hell's that guy's name? Really good actor. He was in I forgot his name. He looks like James Dean kind of.
Okay.
Are you talking about Austin Butler?
No,
he's talking about
him.
a director.
The other guy.
Oh, director.
No, the actor.
Oh, all right. That could be
I forgot. He was in that movie where. I forgot.
Let's figure it out.
It's too early. Okay. I'm just like, I haven't slept. I've been on.
I know. We're surprised you're able to go as well as you are.
Yeah. So.
All right. So, but anyway, that's still up for grabs.
See. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm really excited about a lot of the other stuff I do too. All the online stuff is fun for me.
So like the show called the Jam in the Van.
Yeah, the Jam in the Van show, which is just a podcast that I do, which is really fun. It's got music. It's got influencers. That's the thing now. The influencers comedians, actors, and it's just fun.
Are you catching a lot of nostalgic love for the heyday, that time when MTV was determining pop culture, all of that stuff. I mean, you were at the top of that wave, and now there's a nostalgia for it.
Yeah. No, I that's what I was saying. I feel it. Everywhere I go, it's just crazy. Yeah, it's like, who was... it's so early, so I'm hard to... Who was I talking to? Oh, wait. Was I talking to Vince Neil? That's who I was talking to.
Okay.
I was talking to Vince Neil about that. I talked to him last week.
About the nostalgia.
I'm like, dude, you're selling out stadiums.
Yeah.
It's like you guys are selling out more than you sold out when you guys were back. And he's like, I know, it's crazy.
You know why? Because the fans have money now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
It's true.
But it's also compared to the, not to diss the stuff that's out now, but to compare to the stuff that's out now, movies, music, comedians, people remember back then and they remember, look at Dice. I mean, Dice has done an amazing job, like just kind of being relevant and
as a dramatic actor as well.
Yeah.
Star is Born is terrific.
And, but yeah, like for me, I'm an actor. That's why people are there. That when I sell tickets and I come on the road, and people are there not because of my Netflix special.
Right.
People are there because I touch their heart.
Yeah.
Through my films.
You know what's interesting about you?
And there's this love and this connection that a lot of comics don't have.
Right.
You know what I mean?
When you really jumped onto the scene, you're an actor, and you were portraying a version of yourself, but people thought that that's who you were. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have...
It was part of who I was.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about in the roles of Encino Man or son-in-law. These are roles that I was acting in.
Right.
I had to become these characters.
Exactly.
In order for people not to be disconnected when they watch the film.
Yeah.
You mentioned Dice and what he's managed to do in his career. What do you think if Sam Kinison would have lived, what he'd be doing today? Would he have delved more into acting, or would he still just be doing his stand-up? What do you think? Because you were real good friends with him.
He would, he would have to obviously gotten off all the drugs and all that stuff that he was doing. And I mean, he was, he was he was George Carlin. He was Richard Pryor. He was one of those guys that everyone would be watching and go, what the hell is he going to say now about Donald Trump?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he would be that guy that would just be breaking the rules.
Yeah.
There would be no cancel culture with him. He'd be like, F you, cancel culture. With Sam, right?
Yeah.
He would just go right through it. It's kind of like what Rogan's doing over at his club, which I go to a lot, out there. It
is. It's the new Buzz place.
Yeah, it's
the mothership.
The mothership, because he's just created a very, very comfortable place for comedians to do and say what they want. Because comedians, like when I go on stage this whole weekend, I'm going to be working 95% in my brain because I got 5% going, man, I can't say that. But when I'm in Rogan's club, I go 110% because all the phones are locked up and he's got security and everything is like very tight. And I feel like I can say what I want to say.
Right.
And in practice. Because at the end of the day, for a stand-up comic, you want to be able to be very comfortable on the stage so you can practice and do things that maybe you wouldn't write in your hotel room.
Right.
And you could figure it out on stage.
To push boundaries a little bit.
You can push boundaries and figure out, like I got this whole like BLM kind of run, but I'd say 50% of the jokes are good. Then there's 50%, or people pull it back. So I'm just like, I want to get to Kenneth. I want to get to Joe's club so that I can practice that and try to feel more comfortable.
How do you workshop material that could be that explosive until? Yeah, I would see that as very problematic. You have an idea of where you want to get to, but where do you go to get it to that place where you need it to be?
You have to be free.
Yeah.
As a comic, you have to be free.
Paulie, by the way, is going to be at Helium Comedy Club tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. HeliumComedy.com, by the way, to get tickets. Nick just pulled up a picture a second ago. Was it James Franco that you were trying to think of earlier?
Yeah.
There you go.
Got it.
All right.
Looks
so
like
a director called me recently, and they're doing a movie with him and a couple of people. They said, we want you to do a dramatic role and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, okay.
So, that's my number one thing is I'd love to do something unexpected because I know I have it in me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just going to,
You've done a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. No, we're fans.
I love it. I love acting.
Hey, I want to ask you about somebody you've worked with before because we've had her here in the studio before. Carla Gugino. You were in Son-in-Law with her.
Yeah.
Did you guys develop a friendship or?
Yeah, we were cool.
Okay.
But it was just, work.
Movies,
But it wasn't like we hung out after.
Yeah, projects come and go. You guys are very nomadic in the way you work in the movie industry. You spend these months together and then everybody goes and works another job.
It was interesting because I just found because I've been doing documentaries. So I have a one-man show as well called Stick with the Dancing. I'd love to do it here in Philadelphia. Okay. It's a stories about my childhood. It's called Stick with the Dancing, and it's all that comedy store stuff. But I was going through my archive and I found the screen tests for Son-in-Law. So you got Heather Graham.
Oh, wow.
So it's me acting with Heather Graham.
Oh, that's pretty wild.
It's Ashley Judd.
Really?
Yeah, it's like all these women. Gabrielle Anwar.
All for the daughter role. Wow.
No. For my girlfriend's role. Yeah.
I mean, sorry, yes.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen was the other.
She was the side. And then also, dude, I found the screen test for In the Army now.
Okay.
So I got Chris Rock that auditioned for it.
Huh.
I got Adrian Brody.
Wow.
Auditioned for it.
Dude. Wow.
I got the guy Adam Goldberg auditioned for it.
Yeah.
All these actors were wanting to be in my films. And I have all the screen tests, so I want to put them in the documentary.
I love that.
That's pretty cool.
dope.
Yeah. Well, were you good at auditioning? I mean, people say it's the most dehumanizing thing. A lot of actors will say when you go up for a role.
I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
No, but you have to feel like, or you got to feel like, what I would do is funny. It was, I remember, I'm very, my mind is like, I remember, except for James Franco, I remember a lot of specific things. Like I remember when I would get auditions back in the 80s, you get auditions where your agents would send you, they were called sides.
Right.
And they'd come in the fax machine, and then you put a highlighter on your character's name. And I remember getting auditioned for 21 Jump Street. Wow. And this was in the late 80s. This is when Johnny Depp was on it, when he was huge.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I remember going to audition in my purple Jeep and like sitting like downstairs in the parking lot at the audition and then listening to Peter Gabriel's Big Time.
Yeah.
Which was that song, Peter Gabriel, to get me pumped up. And then I would go in there and I landed that.
I'm making it.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
And then I would get, you got to pump yourself up. But I killed that audition and I got the role and I got to fly up to Vancouver where we filmed 21 Jump Street and I got to meet Johnny Depp.
Wow. Yeah.
And he was like so cool.
He seems like somebody you would jibe well with.
He was like big heart, very sweet. Yeah. And we just had such a beautiful time up there. And it was so, like, just acting back then in the late 80s, like my whole class. I mean, you're talking David Arquette.
Yeah.
You're talking Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Who else? I mean, all those guys, we all started.
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan came on, and the
Robert Downey Jr. was around that time. He started to hit Lesson Zero and stuff like that. Yeah.
That whole collective.
It was just the what?
That whole Andrew McCarthy's doing a documentary about the Brat Pack.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks sick. But I'm just saying, Hollywood back then, it was just like there was something so fun and innocent and exciting about just getting an audition. You know what I mean? And like going there and your agent's like, you got to do this, you got to do that, and don't do this and don't say this. And then you walk in, it's very uncomfortable.
When was that moment where you thought, because obviously you were surrounded by the creme de la creme of comedians, the Comedy Store was in your family, you were used to this. When did you personally say, I've made it. I'm the guy now?
Oh, when it was MTV for sure.
MTV?
Yeah.
Okay.
Had to be.
But MTV was when it just blew up.
Right.
That's when it was like, oh my God. That was cool.
I remember the height, like Lisa,
we did the music video.
The music video was, was huge.
It was like this thing. It was just like a stock. My stock went up. Boom. We were doing albums, all this stuff.
The MTV, did someone from the network approach you, or did you guys reach out to them?
My manager got me an audition.
Okay.
I auditioned
for a VJ, or
no? It's just to they heard about me.
Okay.
They're like, the head.
This guy will connect.
They just said they heard about this guy doing this surfer dude thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And then they saw me, and then they brought me down to spring break, and that didn't go good. Actually, it went really bad.
Really
bad. Yeah. I talk about it in the one man show.
Did you party too much?
No, I was nervous.
Oh, okay.
Nervous?
No, I was nervous.
All
And
right.
it was live.
It was Sodom and Gomorrah. I mean, it was
It
crazy.
was like crazy.
Yeah.
That was the thing. I just assumed that you were partying too much back then, but you weren't.
You know what, you guys? Sorry to bum you guys out, but I really wasn't.
We found this out last time we had you in here. No, and I loved it. I loved that you.
I always.
There was a part that you were playing.
Well, I think there's a reason why I'm still around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And you watched all this stuff
it's because I watched what not to do.
Yeah, you watched a lot of people burn out.
That's true. Yeah.
And then also, I was lucky, and I've said this before 100,000 times, is that I'm very fortunate that I don't have that gene in my system where I have to have more than 1 or 2 drinks.
Right.
You know, or I'm friends with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, he's my neighbor in Vegas, right? And he's sober.
Yeah.
He's been sober for a while because he can't have just that one.
Right.
He can't just. I'm like, dude, because I've drank with him before, and it's awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he gets buzzed.
And he's
You know what I mean?
he's turning out some great stuff now.
Yeah.
He's doing a ton
and
of
he just had a
independent stuff.
baby.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a baby, and so, you know, I don't know. I'm just happy that I don't have to have. I can have 1 or 2 drinks.
And then you're good, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Dude,
good for you.
'cause so many people, as you were saying, you were surrounded by classic stories of people who couldn't fight their demons.
Yeah.
That was your
And then also
school.
financially as well, because I'm like you people. I used to watch my movies. I'm like, man, I got to save my money. No, but it's true. You know, the thing is, it's like I flew here coach. I flew coach last night.
Really?
I fly coach. I sat next to a guy like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm going to Philadelphia. You know, so I've never been the guy that needs a lot.
I wanted to ask you about Spring Break because it obviously existed before MTV, but then when MTV started showing up on the scene, it blew it up to another level. When did you realize that what MTV was bringing to the entity that is Spring Break had shifted to this insane party?
Because it was like a dream for every kid in the world.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's how I felt.
Yeah, it was just like a dream. And I was that kid too. Yeah. You know, I was watching
You'd watch it, yeah.
I was in the 80s watching Martha Quinn and like, oh my God, I got to get down to Spring Break. And like, you know, this is the creme de la creme. This is like Willy Wonka, you know, oh my God. So I was thinking that too. So when I got down there, I was blah, 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 blah. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. You know, the stuff I saw and like who was down there, and saw Lenny Kravitz was down there. You know, obviously Rodney Dangerfield was there.
Everybody was
Tennyson
down there.
Sandler was there. I remember seeing Sandler
Colin
for the first
Quinn?
time in '80. Yeah, Colin Quinn. Yeah, it was. You know, you tell kids these days, the new generation of how, everyone's on the, the Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, even Chris Rock has said it. Like, MTV was bigger than anything. Back then.
Yep.
And that's how it was. That was a cool place to be.
Let me ask you, with all that carnage going on, at least to us as viewers, watching everything that was going on,
There's
were
Vince
there
Neil.
like
Oh my God.
armies of people over producers, or were
so great.
who was controlling all this?
Say that again. I'm
Who's
sorry?
controlling all this?
I was just looking at the video
Yeah, I
of
know.
Vince and
Yeah, we're watching
12
Paulie and
girls.
Vince Neil at
Yeah.
Spring Break.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, were there handlers, or were you just kind of?
But it definitely had a frat boy image, fun vibe. So all the people behind the scenes were having just as much fun as the people in front of
Really?
the camera.
Huh.
Yeah, all my friends, Tony DeSanto, Bobby Moore, Doug Herzog, Joel Gallen, everyone, we were all just family. Yeah.
All right. So if you weren't like a drug addict or anything like that in those heydays, how about sex addict? You got to tell me that.
Well, next comment.
You asked a question before we came on about.
We're looking at these stunning women surrounding you in this video clip.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you were known. I mean, I remember you.
They liked my body.
You were with a lot of well-known adult film actresses too, and that was a thing.
Yeah.
do you look back fondly on that? How do you perceive those years now?
It's like it's in my one-man show. I talk about it.
Okay.
I talk a lot about it.
Do you think that's part of the failure to not being able to commit? Is that it was more this banquet of people.
Banquet. That's a funny word.
Do you know what I'm saying? It was so readily available.
Yes, I mean that's part of it, I guess.
Yeah.
But I also.
It's like the guy who works at the donut store doesn't ever really eat donuts, But
yeah. No, there's part of me that also really likes being alone. And I get bored and I like to keep moving.
Okay.
Cuz for 30 years I've been touring America.
Yeah.
So my mind has always been on kind of keep moving. So like I was living in LA, I moved to Vegas, and I got sick of Vegas. Now I moved back to LA, and now I'm sick of LA. I want to Airbnb across America. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I absolutely know what you mean.
So until I find someone that's got that vibe,
right?
That just wants to roll with me, then I think that's when maybe something will happen if it happens. Yeah.
George Clooney was like that for a while. Remember, he was like the guy who was never ever going to be with one woman, and eventually the right person, he stumbled into him, and they ended up making it happen.
Yeah.
You should call Amal Clooney, see what she's doing.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Never say never.
Yeah.
But I'm also very honest, and I don't lie. I don't like
well, that's good.
I don't like promise people things. I don't say, "You're my girlfriend," and then I say to someone else, "You're my girlfriend." I say to someone, "You're my girlfriend."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want a girlfriend. So
yeah.
And then I hear my mom's voice a lot. That's okay. You can do what you want. There's nothing wrong with that. You can be fine. Let him do his thing. Leave him alone. Back off. You know what I mean? For real.
Yeah.
Your mom had a great voice. I remember
because
your
my mom always accepted people for who they were, no matter what. She never judged. And that's why when I dated a porn star, this girl Savannah.
I remember. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's beautiful. I loved her. I was in love with her because of her as a person.
Right.
Her real name was Shannon.
Right.
And she was very beautiful, and she's very sweet and very nice, and we laughed a lot. But then, obviously I woke up one day and I'm like, I can't date a girl that does that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's just a little gnarly. You know what I mean?
It's a little gnarly.
A little gnarly.
With
but the thing that's
in the world
funny,
of Pauly Shore,
wait.
that makes sense.
No, but the thing that's funny about that situation is in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then you realize, wait a minute, this is not cool.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like she's going to work.
Yeah.
And she's like banging dudes, and then she's coming back and we're cuddling and watching a movie.
Right.
And like, that's not right.
She's making the donuts.
Yeah, she's making the donuts. But
how was the sex?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, man.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, she was good at, a lot of things. She has practice. So,
they say if you do something, for 10,000 hours,
you become an expert.
You become an expert at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
But that's interesting the way you put that, though. It's like, this is cool, but wait a minute, it's not cool. I mean, that makes total sense. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, because it's not right, I mean,
Yeah, and you're not casting judgment on what she does for a living. You're just
thinking myself.
Yes.
I'm like, hey, wait, I'm over it.
Yeah.
It's not cool anymore.
Your mom, actually, I didn't realize this, actually bought up a lot of like, at least businesses. There was apparently like a pickle place the family owned for a while.
Funny. Yeah, across the street from the Comedy Store, it was called the Pickle Barrel.
Yeah.
So she tried different businesses. She was making money. And it was just a place that had pickles from all over the world.
Are you a pickle fan?
Not really. No, not really. But as a kid, I always remember having like a pickle in my hand with a white napkin. And she goes, "Shut up, go sit in the corner, Polly. Go eat your fucking oops, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Go eat your pickle." You know what I mean?
I love that.
My mom actually also, a lot of people don't know this. She opened a theater in Hollywood on Las Palmas and Sunset, and she called it the Richard Pryor Theater.
I read about this.
Yeah, and
but he
she
never
said
played it, did he?
Never played it once. This one's for Richard. I need to get it for Richard. I'm like, Mom, he's not coming here. He's going to the Comedy Store to work out his stuff. No, this is the Richard Pryor Theater.
Didn't she?
That's how much she loved him.
She built, or at least bought a hotel for him?
Yeah, it was a motel.
A motel?
That was connected to the theater.
And wow.
Yeah.
I was reading, I don't know if this is just hearsay, but there were rumors in some of the articles I was reading that there was, did your mom date Richard Pryor for a while?
Next question. No, I don't think they dated.
Okay, all right.
And again, you gotta watch my one man show.
All right, all right.
Nice.
Yeah.
When is the one man show coming to town?
People just go on my follow my social medias, and then next time I'm doing it is in LA at the Bourbon Room.
Yeah, bring it here.
And eventually we'll put it on TV for everyone.
All right.
It's kind of inspired by the Mike Tyson's Undisputed Truth.
That was amazing. Yeah. You're gonna get
that was
Spike Lee to direct it?
Like, you know what I mean? Because excuse me, at the burp 1 sec. Sorry. That was the thing, because ever since I've been in this business, ever since I've been doing interviews with gentlemen like you guys, people always want to ask me about my childhood.
Yeah.
So we could be promoting something, and then they're like, wait a minute, but da-da-da-da-da. So like in my mind, obviously, I'm like, well, I should do a show about my childhood, stick with the dancing.
Okay.
And that's what this is. So it's a really cool show, and I've been popping. I've done it at Rogan's Room. I've done it at the store. I've done it all over America. I'm doing it in Canada. So I'm not burning myself out with it, or like I'm going on some long tour with it, because it's very emotional. It's exhausting because you're pretty much, it's like a scab, and you're just opening your scab up every night.
Right. Wow.
Because you're going back in your childhood. Then I talk about my parents passing away and all these different things. So it's a monologue.
I'd love to see
this. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the way I came up with this title was because this is what my mom said after she saw me perform for the first time.
Doing comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I did the jokes.
Stick with the dance.
Yeah, I did.
Did that replace Eat Your Pickle?
I did the jokes. I did the jokes that the other comedians wrote for me. Because when I first started, I made the comedians write me jokes.
Yeah.
And then I ended with pop locking.
Right,
and then when I performed for her, I said, how'd I do? She said, stick with the dancing. That's the title of the show.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Man.
I'm just, for me, it's like, I'm 56 now, your guys' age, around your guys' age.
Same age as me.
Like, I don't want to get that phone call. You got cancer.
Right.
You got this, you got that. Because at our age, at this point, we just want to be healthy.
Yep.
And that's all I really care about at this point.
How's your prostate issue last time you were here?
It's good. It's good. I haven't peed once since I've been here.
You're right. During this interview, you never peed once. You were getting some sort of procedure done.
Ago.
Yeah.
No, I've done all the checkups and all that stuff, because we've all, again, I don't know you guys personally, but I'm sure you have very close friends that have died.
Yes.
And we're all, it's a wrap.
Yep.
I mean, especially after your parents die, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like
You're
this
on
is
deck.
Yeah, we're on deck.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't know.
Yeah.
You got someone said, oh, my friend just died at 43. And it's like, we're all lucky to be here. And the more older you get, the more you realize that we're all on death row.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why it's important. And I tell myself this every day, is try to move forward and try not to hold on to anything that has happened to you in the past, because we all have sadness and
That's very wise.
anger or bitterness or different things that have happened to us. People screwed you over. And, I have it and I carry it. You know what I mean? But I try moment to moment to try to get over that. And it's really important at night when you go to sleep. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter that your mind is okay. And that's my biggest challenge. You know what I mean? Because I'm alone.
Yeah.
But I'm not alone, because I have me. I got my friends. I got people that I see. So you, again, half full, half full.
No, and
it's hard. It's hard.
Came to that epiphany a while ago. I was telling Preston this. It was like you live, this thing's coming up, but this thing's coming up, but this thing's coming up, and you're not living in the moment. You're missing that. And B, if you live your life in fear of death, you're not living. So just, take everything count it as a blessing.
But it's also about letting go.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And all of us hold on to stuff that has happened to us, and it's so hard.
Yes.
I've had
You're nailing it.
I've had a lot of stuff happen to me that maybe I created, but it happened.
Yeah.
Right.
And how do you move on? And that's when there's the prescription meds come in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People take Xanax and people take Ambien and different things like that to try to cool their brain, or like how do we relax our mind? You know, with anxiety and different things, like it's tough. And then now you throw the curveball with social media in there.
Yes.
And you throw that curveball in there, and you're like, everyone. I mean, it's really crazy because we're all older.
Yeah.
We've grown up where people walk down the street talking to each other. Now they walk down the street staring at their phone.
Yeah.
We've, and it's not going to get any better.
Is the stage cathartic for you?
Yes. Oh, yes. 100%. I'm my happiest when I'm on stage. Like I could feel like, because also you get that love.
Yeah.
Because people are there because they connect with you.
So we can see you at your happiest.
Yeah.
Tonight.
For sure.
Yeah, tonight.
Yeah, you gotta get that. And I love Philly. I've been coming to Philly for many years, so it's a great city. Yeah.
Well, Helium Comedy Club tonight, tomorrow, Saturday. Tickets at heliumcomedy.com. Two things. We want to see the one-man show. Let us know when that's coming out. And obviously, this Richard Simmons thing's got to come together. We really hope that.
Well,
we're pulling for you on that.
Again, that's a moment-to-moment, day-to-day.
Right.
I got my great producer. He's awesome. I feel really comfortable with him. I got my great script with the writer, the pitch, and now we just need to sell it.
You let us know. Yeah, we will get the word out.
Yeah.
Good to see you,
Richard,
man.
And Richard, if you're out there, we love you, and I hope you're well. And text me, call me. You have my number.
Excellent.
Right?
It is great to see you, sir. Have a good time in Philly.
Chinese.
There he is.
Sauna.
Pauly Shore, our good friend here in Philadelphia. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us. I'm not exactly sure how they
God, there's so much of a story here.
went about it.
We have our cows in sight.
All right. Anyhow, moving on. Back to the Shake Shack and the chicken.
Yeah.
We were speaking earlier this morning in our entertainment roundup about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson being the sexiest man alive.
Yeah, I sometimes don't support those decisions, but I have to agree with this one.
You agree with this one?
Yeah, on a guy level to a guy, I would say that because he's a cool guy. He seems like a good guy. Mm-hmm. He seems like a guy who would hold you down.
Yes.
And take you.
Yeah.
And take you and make you realize things about yourself. That's what he seems like to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some I have not agreed with. Richard Gere, you would agree with, right?
Oh yeah, I loved Richard Gere.
Yeah, it's interesting what floats their particular boat every year.
They usually pick somebody who's got something going on too, as far as being in the public eye in a big project, and they're successful as well.
In 1992, Nick Nolte won it.
No way.
Yeah.
All right, what did that picture look like, though?
I don't feel so good. In '92, it would have been fine. It would have been the time, I guess, around maybe the Prince of Tides.
Yeah, I mean, he's 51 at the time.
Yeah.
In '89, Sean Connery won it at age 59.
I have to poop.
There's few other.
I have to poop now. So take your damn picture.
Take it now.
Take your picture now. I have to poop. I guess they were trying to show that an older guy could be.
Yeah, that's right when Last Crusade came out. And then Richard Gere won again in 99 at the age of 50, and Harrison Ford won in 98.
There you go.
At 56.
Stop thinking about that. It was one of the more poop. Take your picture. Got to poop.
Long story short, I'm a murderer. My son is really into fish and fish tanks, so we bought one. I got one for his birthday, which was back in September, and it took me a while to get it up and running. It's the first time I've ever owned
this.
Yeah. Fish tanks seem like a great idea.
They do, and I'm actually overall really happy with the purchase.
Right,
I have a friend named Cheryl who's been really helpful in guiding me through some of this stuff because I didn't know what I was doing.
Are there a lot of fish?
Initially, there were 4.
Okay.
Initially,
Superman, macro, ice cream, and a 4th one.
R.I.P.
No.
How big of a tank, by the way? How many gallons?
Like 29 gallons. So I went away this past weekend. I went up to North Central PA and came back, and Superman, who was the biggest of the fish, was dead.
Yep.
So, it sucked because I knew that I was going to have to make a decision. And that decision was, do I tell my son whether or not this fish has died?
Right.
And
is he super connected to it? Does he?
Well, it's his. I don't know. It's his fish tank. It's in his room. He picked out all the fish to go into the tank. So he's been very active in the decision making process. He named all of them.
I would get attached to my fish. Like I would be sad when they would die.
Yeah. And they don't really have a ton of personality, but they have some. And then you sort of figure out which ones stayed at the bottom and which ones come to the top.
Which ones never move.
And
which ones sit there on the bottom.
Which ones hide behind the little hut at the bottom of the thing.
Which ones decompose.
Which ones decompose. Which ones eat other ones.
Yeah.
So I took Superman out with the little net and put him in the toilet and flushed him down. And he went to fish heaven.
Yeah.
So this was over the weekend. It's now.
Where's that coming from? It's so damn loud. There we go. Okay. Go ahead.
So it's now Wednesday, and I have yet to tell my son. And so I don't know. Here's the quandary. Do I inform my son of what has happened with the fish and teach him the lessons of life and that death is a part of life and that we move on? Or do I just go out and get a replacement fish and pretend like it never happened?
I tell you what is an easy swap out is a turtle.
Yeah.
Those little turtles.
There's a great storyline in the movie My Blue Heaven. Joan Cusack accidentally knocked a turtle into the garbage disposal.
Well, speaking of the garbage disposal, about 2 years ago, actually it was a Christmas present. Santa brought Jace a betta fish, a pretty red betta fish, and I was cleaning out the nice vase that the betta fish lived in, and I put it in like a little cup, and that damn thing jumped out of the cup. I guess I filled it up too high and went into the sink, and Jace is sitting there. I remember he was eating lunch and he was sitting watching the whole thing, and I was like, oh, the fish, and I was like, don't move, don't jump, don't flap anywhere, because he was in the sink.
Yes.
So I tried to cover him with my hand so he wouldn't go down the drain. Well, he did, and I freaked out, and I was like, he's down there, he's still alive, what do I do? So great idea. I turned the garbage disposal on.
Oh my God!
What are you gonna do?
What are you?
You're a murderer.
Oh my God! My child is trapped in the wood chipper. Turn it on.
Steve, and he is staring at me, watching the whole thing with these big eyes.
What could possibly make you think that?
You can reach down in there
I did.
and get
I couldn't
it.
find him. I couldn't.
Oh, you
find
couldn't
him.
see him?
No.
Use a flashlight?
No, I couldn't find him. It was like, and it was so fast. Like I was like, oh, I'll just turn the garbage disposal on, and I quick hit the
Like to put it out of its misery?
Yeah, because he couldn't breathe.
Listen, at some point,
Can't breathe.
If you could not find it, because believe it or not, at the bottom of the garbage disposal, there is a ridge that goes, or at least in mine,
Yeah.
and if it got under there and you couldn't get it out, what are you going to let it suffocate?
Yeah. But it's a fish, right?
I know, yeah.
And is there water in that disposal?
No, it's dry down there.
Oh,
unless
okay.
you,
Then I misunderstand.
I didn't know what to do. Poor thing watched the whole thing. And
Quick, turn it on.
Quick, kill it. Kill it. Mommy wants you to kill it.
I didn't know what to do.
Jace, we're going to teach you a lesson now. You have to turn the garbage disposal on.
God, no. Stop it.
Kill it. Come on. Spartan mom.
Is that for Kathy?
Me? Are you kidding? Everyone here is freezing.
You guys all have coats on, don't you?
Yeah.
Look at all the ladies who are putting their coats on.
Has coats on.
I'm cold.
You should put a coat on, Kathy.
I have a coat and a blanket. You should wear a T-shirt if you're going to sweat constantly.
He doesn't sweat, though. His pits have been shut off.
Well, he's hot as hell. Take your jacket off.
Oh, and that's just
I put one on.
right?
You take yours off.
She said it. She said it. I knew it.
He's hot as hell.
Hot as hell.
You said it. There's a little.
Oh, no. I slipped.
There's a little struggle with the thermostat here in the studio this morning.
The main struggle is that it doesn't work at all.
Well, that's the problem. Casey
Well,
complains
it's not accurate.
Yeah.
that it's all the way up. It's like it's mental for him. He sees that it's all the way up. Meanwhile, it's still freezing in here. It does nothing to move it, and then he moves it down, and it becomes an icebox.
I think the thermostat was made in another country because cold is spelled cod and heat is hort.
Kathy, there is an official sign on the thermostat.
I know, but Casey, I
look at
can't
it,
take it.
read it.
Literally, when you walk in here and it feels like an icebox, that's ridiculous. I'll work with you, but it's an icebox.
It's only an icebox when you're in here.
No, that's not true. Look around. Everyone is bundled up because it's freezing.
She is making a point. They are bundled up.
It's cold.
What if you both made love?
Ew. Hell no.
Would that help?
Stick me in an icebox and let me die there.
Wow. So I'm taking that as a no.
By the way, do you call the refrigerator an icebox?
No.
Okay.
The refrigerator. I can handle refrigerator temperature. I can't handle icebox temperature.
Wow. Is your friend here? Is your
I want to
monthly friend
curse.
here?
I want to curse so bad. That's how effing cold it is in here.
Is your friend we call your friend Daredevil?
No.
Always.
Not yet.
It's coming. Isn't it?
Well, here's a question. I mean, there you have needs. What if in space and long missions, if you're taking care of yourself, what does that look like? Right? I mean, because there seems to be a whole bunch of ports in that thing.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Something's got to fit.
This looks good.
I don't know.
This looks like Lisa Ann.
Somebody's had to have done that, right?
Of course.
To bang people. How in all the years and people up in space, you mean to tell me someone's never rubbed one out?
Yeah. No, I'm saying somebody's had to have done that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They're on the space station for a year at a time.
That's actually what caused the Apollo 13 issue.
Right.
It wasn't, the mixture wasn't correct.
Oh my God, we have a problem.
What did you do?
I mean, what about like
I didn't mix the fuel right.
what about like actual sex?
I don't know. Maybe they
there have been men and women up together.
There was a married couple that went
a
up.
married couple up together. So yes, there would have to be.
That's the first thing you have to do.
Yeah.
Okay,
The 50 Mile High Club. You kidding me?
I mean, if we're talking about serious long-term space travel, it's going to be a part of it, right? So, like, eventually, if we're going to colonize on Mars, that has to be studied.
It's just not talking.
Kathy,
They're just
that
not
would be,
talking about it.
You would the hand you would consider with those huge space gloves.
Yeah, she wouldn't have to worry about it.
All right, okay. This is really big. I can do this.
A bigger hand doesn't make it better.
No, I mean talking about not getting any mess on you. Anyway,
Kathy uses Hulk hands at home.
But in order to do that, because you're in zero gravity and you're floating all over the place, you'd
have to secure yourself.
You'd have to have something to hang on to.
Because they sleep basically.
One would be strapped down. Yeah, they tie you in.
Strapped to the wall.
So they'd figure it out. I'll bet you if there was a married couple up there, it was part of their experiments because they're up there doing experiments all the time.
If they're doing poop and pee and all of these things that they're trying to perfect, that they're going to perfect what is a human necessity.
And I have to see video of this.
Various positions, I would imagine, right? To try and figure out which ones are the most...
We are attempting doggy style.
Yep.
Proceed with doggy style. We are having a little bit of issue here. We're going to take this outside the craft.
Odyssey, have you tried the cowgirl yet?
69. Not tried the cowgirl yet. 69. In 3, 2, 1. We have achieved 69. This is Houston. We got you, and everything's looking good. I would grab her ankles a little tighter in an effort to solidify head position in the appropriate groinal area. And we got that.
All right.
NASA can reduce sex to completely mechanical.
Totally. Sex experiment.
Tell her she's a pretty girl. Tell her she's a very pretty girl.
Please welcome from The Last Witch Hunter, Elijah Wood and Rose Leslie to our program. Good morning, guys. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi there.
Good to see you.
All right, so you're in hyper promo mode for this. You're on tour and doing,
hyper
promo mode because it's coming out.
Yeah, in fact, you guys are leaving.
Initiate hyper promo.
I like that. Yeah.
When did you get into Philly? And you guys are leaving later on this afternoon, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
We got in late last night. Well, not that late. No, we kind of landed around about 7.
Yeah, we landed.
Yeah, we didn't land. We definitely
the
didn't
train
land.
just
we
sort of like arrived to the station. We took a train from New York.
Yeah, there you go. It's what you both got here is the essential point of the
train
whole thing.
landings are very strange.
Well, let's talk about the movie a little bit, and then we're going to geek out on you guys because we're fans of a ton of your work.
Cool.
But The Last Witch Hunter, so Vin Diesel is starring as this main character in this.
Yes.
And there are a lot, like I said, there are a lot of names. There are you two, and also Michael Caine is in this movie as well.
Yes.
But this is an original story.
Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Horizon Services. Horizon Services can help keep you cool this summer with same-day repairs and next-day installation on your AC. Horizon Services. Help is on the way. All right, I've never heard of this before, but authorities in Nevada are warning drivers to be cautious after Mormon cricket sludge.
Mormon cricket sludge
caused several crashes over the weekend.
What is Mormon cricket sludge?
Well, the icky combination of recent rain and mashed Mormon crickets run over by cars and trucks created a slippery muck over roads and led to 2 crashes involving 3 semi-tractor trailers.
You know why this is?
On Interstate 80.
It's not just the Mormons, it's their multiple wives.
That's it.
So each cricket has like 8 wives.
No serious injuries were reported. The sheriff's office, as well as fire, emergency services, and state police responded to the multiple crashes Saturday and warned vehicles to slow down as the unsavory mixture made roadways extremely slick and unpredictable for stopping distance.
Can you imagine the amount of
bugs?
I mean, Kathy, you must think of the sludge. Enough sludge to take a truck off a road.
The giant cannibalistic bugs, which don't directly harm humans, made headlines last year when they swarmed towns across the state. Outbreaks of Mormon crickets typically last 4 to 6 years and eventually drop off because of natural predators.
Are they like cicadas?
I guess so. Before 2019, Nevada went more than a decade without seeing the crickets. Their eggs remain in the soil until a drought cycle triggers them to hatch. So there has to be the right atmospheric conditions or natural conditions for them to
Nevada,
surface.
I thought you might have Vegas gambling crickets.
Yeah, no, these are Mormon crickets, by the way. I saw a video the other day of a guy. He had some kind of something that made a sound, and it draws the cicadas. And he's standing there, and he's wearing, he's got a mask on, and his eyes are covered and everything. And Steve, they're just jumping off the ground, and they're covering his body.
that.
Did you see that?
So he's wearing like a beekeeper outfit?
Something similar,
That was in Tennessee.
Yes.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
I so do not want to do that.
I do not want to do
Yes.
that.
Nope. All right, I very rarely report on stories that have to do with rape, but I'm bringing this one up. A Massachusetts fugitive who gained notoriety, and this is the reason I'm doing it, is his name, the Bad Breath Rapist.
Yes.
Was apprehended by marshals and other U.S. Law enforcement officials in California on Tuesday after 17 years on the run. They arrested Tuin Kit Lee. Lee is accused of fleeing his trial. In 2007, a jury found him guilty of kidnapping and raping a woman in 2005 when he fled before sentencing. Authorities claim Lee's family owned a restaurant, and he had apparently raped a waitress from the restaurant at her home in 2005. During the crime, Lee wore a mask and held the victim at knife point before zip tying her to the bed. And then the victim was found by her boyfriend several hours later, bound to the bed. The boyfriend told investigators he went to the home after he was unable to reach the girlfriend on the phone. The victim identified Lee as a perpetrator after she identified him by his bad breath. That's how she knew who it was.
So listen, there's 9,000 layers of horrible about this, but that's just unbelievable.
So after that, media outlets called him the Bad Breath Rapist.
Right.
After he was found guilty of kidnapping and rape, he was believed to have fled the state and could not be located until recently. Marshals said the Massachusetts State Police received a tip that Lee was possibly living in Diablo, California. So after 17 years on the run, they've got this evil son of a bitch. Local media was buzzing Sunday with posts about a bizarre scene in Albuquerque featuring a naked man perched on top of the city's new Bumblebee Transformer statue. The incident prompted a flurry of calls.
I can see my house.
To authorities who arrived to find Hector Malero of California in his birthday suit straddling the larger-than-life robot figure.
Oh, I've got to sit on that naked.
That had replaced last year's man statue. While the motivations behind Malero's nudist antics remain unclear, officers managed to coax him down safely with help from the fire rescue's ladder, and onlookers captured a surreal scene.
The dude was teabagging Bumblebee.
Malero now faces indecent exposure charges for his unorthodox antics. Okay, Steve, I put this one in here for you. A street food vendor in Thailand has gone viral because of his striking resemblance to John Wick.
Wow.
Now, I didn't see any pictures.
I want to see this guy.
I read the story. A recent online video hailed Wick for taking the time to stop killing people and turn to selling coffee and grilled squid. From there, an overnight sensation was apparently born. So this guy's become a viral sensation. Does it look like
it?
him?
Kind of looks like John Wick.
Really?
Wait, Steve,
okay.
I'll pull it up for you.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So with he was an overnight sensation, and the Thai news agencies are working around the clock to identify who he was. It seems that he is in reality a German man who wanted to visit his wife's home country. So he looks just like
pretty Wickian.
That's funny. All right, then we'll do one more story, and then we will wrap it up. Let's go to this one. Yes, late in the afternoon on Friday, and I think this is, I'm not sure what state this is in. It's somewhere out west. But a hunter was attacked by a female moose on a section of Bureau of Land Management land bordering the Snake River near Blackfoot. The individual was hunting turkeys downstream and inadvertently startled a female moose with her twin calves.
Oh, boy.
The moose began to charge, and though he fired 2 warning shots at the ground in front of her, she was not deterred. As the moose knocked him to the ground, he was able to fire a 3rd shot, which made contact with the animal.
Why don't you forget the moose?
The moose
For a moment.
ran off, and the hunter was able to leave the area safely. The hunter reported to Idaho Fish and Game that he was bruised up and would seek medical attention.
Could have been dead.
Easily. If his injuries appeared to be more serious. As he left the area, the individual noted that at one point he could see the injured moose a few hundred yards away. Bedded down, she stood up and began grazing while her calves nursed. The full extent of her injuries was not known as of the time that story came out.
Did you see the footage that's making the rounds? It is a female moose, and she is behind a couple of vehicles right up by, there's sort of just a regular sort of chain link fence, and there's like a small, almost like a terrier down, and the terrier's barking away, and the moose comes charging up to the fence, and the terrier just stands its ground and is barking, and the moose just runs off. It's like, oh, you didn't know what you were just effing with.
That would have been my little terrier. She's insane and thinks she's the biggest thing in the world.
Well, the moose demurred.
Yeah, the moose got out. I'm not messing with that thing.
Yeah, thing's crazy.
That's it in the Bizarre File. We are going to take a quick break and come back in a moment. Today's lesson question is coming up when we return, as well as trash and music news. So we'll get it when we get back. Stay put.
Preston and Steve
on 93.3 WMMR.
The MMR app can't remember your Wawa order, but it can.
One that we haven't come across before. It's not coming from books or franchise or anything along those lines.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about what the whole plot line of this film is.
Vin Diesel's character, he plays Calder, who is an 800-year-old immortal witch hunter.
Okay.
And he's basically keeping black magic at bay. So black magic is illegal.
Right.
And that would be the scourge for which would be a danger to humanity.
And they're good. You are a good witch. No, not in an
Not
Oz
in the
reference.
Glinda variety.
Yeah, you're not in the Glinda variety, but he is reticent to do so, but you prove an ally to him. And you, Elijah, are an ally because you are, how's it pronounced? It's a Dolan?
A Dolan, yeah.
Right, not as in Mickey Dolan's, but in... But
Wait, isn't that, don't they do deliveries at home?
That's a doula.
A doula.
Yeah. But you are, there's an order of priests, correct?
Yes, correct.
That provide protection to these... To this immortal character that Vin Diesel is playing.
Indeed, yeah.
Calder.
So basically, Dolans are priests in a long line of priests tasked with serving Calder, the witch hunter, and basically aiding in the background of his effort.
Are you, obviously, Preston's been geeking out about Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And I know, Elijah, you are a big Game of Thrones fan.
Huge Game of Thrones
Was that
fan.
a detraction while making The Last Witch Hunter? That
that Rose was going to be in the film? Yes, it was.
Totally, right?
It really was, yeah.
Yeah, I had read the books. And
I'm such a nerd for it. I flew to Belfast once, and as I was landing at Belfast Airport, I literally was humming the theme song. That's how much of a wow.
Yeah,
wow.
and I'd read
going to the land of Game of Thrones.
Reading the books, I love the character Ygritte in the book, and then they eventually presented you in the show, and I'm like, oh my god, they hit it spot on. She's a badass. She's you're sexy and at the same time, and where now for your guys' scenes, obviously you're north of the wall. Where was that? Was that in Iceland or?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So we shot in Iceland, and I think for those three seasons that I were in, we were there for like a solid 4 weeks, and it was amazing. I mean, we were shooting in ridiculous temperatures, though, something like minus 18, where we, like, as a crew, we were getting paranoid that the lens would start freezing over, and then we wouldn't be able to shoot. And particularly in the kind of winter months, I mean, we had four hours a day of work, so we kind of like. We worked from 10 till 2, and then we just carried on drinking.
Let me tell you, it's funny because Preston is unsure as to which of you to geek out more on, but Rose, you take the
baton on that one.
Yes, on this one.
Big time,
I do,
man.
I do.
I
was going to geek out about Elijah.
No, do it. Go ahead. No. I mean, I just the whole series, the Game of Thrones series, has been. Man, you got to wait too damn long.
That's the only problem.
For the next.
I always dread the finale every season.
Too.
Every season. I'm like, please, I just don't want to watch it because I know that I'm going to have that inevitable feeling of something won't have been tied up, something will be teased, and I have to wait a damn year for it.
Well, you look at something as Herculean as the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but every Christmas season, it was a new one was coming out.
Yes.
Let's get it together, folks. This may be just wiki BS, and I didn't realize this as I was looking. But Elijah, were you in the Forever Your Girl, Paul Abdul video?
Yeah, that was the first job I had as an actor.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's wild. See, that ruined me for all other videos because I can't.
Where is this? I want to see it.
It's on YouTube like everything else.
And you can tell it's you.
Yeah.
That's a good song, man.
All right.
It was directed by David Fincher before he started making movies. Yep. There it is.
David Fincher directed it?
Oh, wow. Look at that. You can just pull it up on the television.
Oh, we're pulling up a video. I don't know at what point in the video he.
Where's Elijah?
There he is. He was a girl.
There he is.
Oh, you played a cute little girl with pigtails.
That's not me.
Someone was also texting it, and that you were in Back to the Future 2.
Correct. Well. Yeah, that was the first job out on a film.
A film, yeah.
That's me.
Well, I know.
Look, there he is.
That's me. Yeah,
Did you just break a pencil?
I did. I was,
Wait. Stressed out.
What are you feeling? It's the stress of daycare, correct?
Just so stressed. Look, he's yearning for his lost love. Yeah.
By the way, Steve, last time Elijah was here so long ago, we were both 200 pounds heavier.
You guys were fat and I was skinny.
Casey was skinny and we were fat.
And I was sick that day. I was so mad. I wasn't here when Elijah was in, and we've had 3 out of the 4 Hobbits in studio, and I missed Elijah's
Who else have you had?
We've had Sean Astin a couple of times, and oh man,
Billy,
not Dominic Monaghan, but the
Billy
guy.
Boyd.
Billy Boyd.
Billy Boyd. Yeah, his band performed in here.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's so cool.
And he's Scottish.
He is.
Oh my God.
I think he was from Glasgow.
He's from Glasgow.
Yeah, he's from Glasgow.
That's right.
Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Let's hear it for him, guys.
Yeah.
Excellent. We'll take a break. Back in a moment. Stay there. A hidden camera left in a forest to take pictures of animals in the wild captured pictures of a naked man who believed that he was a tiger after taking LSD.
I'm a tiger. Look at this. Grow.
The man only identified
I'm a wild tiger.
The man only identified as Merrick from the Czech Republic took the drug to try and treat his depression.
I'm Merrick the tiger. Growl.
But after taking LSD, he then ran off into the Polish forest, stripped naked, and started behaving like a tiger.
I must leave you now and return to the world of tigers.
Later, foresters looked back
But I hope my message of peace lives on.
They looked back at the footage to try and see if they had captured any wild animals on camera, but after watching footage of the man...
Oh, this is a straight up the ass shot this camera got.
Oh, yeah, he's totally naked.
Yeah.
He handed...
That's the brown eye of the tiger.
Yeah.
It's the brown eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight. They handed the picture straight over to the police, who later apprehended Merrick. The 21-year-old then confessed to police that he had taken LSD.
I'm a tiger. I'm a tiger. I'm a tiger. Running around. Tiger round. I'm a tiger. I am high.
He told then the he said it started to work immediately and that he felt he had become a Siberian tiger.
Wow, that's a cool one to go for.
He told police that it was then that his true personality had woken up and that he had always connected with the animal.
Amazing.
He added that while being high on the drug, he picked up a scent and felt compelled to follow it. In 8 hours, he is believed to have traveled 15 and a half miles along the Czech-Polish border.
Not bad.
He's hauling ass.
Yeah.
But because the man did not have any drugs with him, he was only fined and will not face any further charges. So,
I mean, come on.
Yeah, this picture.
Pull it
All right, I did notice something else. I noticed.
More to be noticed.
I noticed this handwritten piece of paper.
He noticed a handwritten piece of paper.
This is the audio of Kathy from earlier this morning. Did she say bitted or not? She was talking about a woman that bit someone's finger.
All right.
Casey and I thought we heard bitted.
I might have heard bitted as well.
And she says it wasn't, but
she
and texters have gone either way on this too. So it's nope.
Let's see.
She heard bit, and yes, I heard bit.
Well, I tell you what, if Kathy's right, passes to the movie on Wednesday night.
Okay, to who?
To Rogue One, to Kathy.
No, I mean to give to Kathy. Okay, sure. What were you saying?
There's a
Wow,
possibility
thank you.
there's a possibility that she said bit it, but I think she said bitted it.
Oh,
then I'm going to go with bit it.
I'm going with bitted it.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Remember, there was also another woman who bit a woman's finger off.
Bitted a woman's finger off. You heard it.
Wait, play it again.
All right, here we go.
Remember, there was also another woman who bit a woman's finger off.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, audio proof that Kathy said bitted.
No, I didn't.
Can I hear? I want to go in.
Hold on, yeah.
Marissa is
Hold on,
she
here.
edited it.
What?
You ready?
Yeah.
In slow mo.
Okay.
Bitted a woman's finger off.
Play it from the beginning, slow like that.
That's exactly what happened. I was there and the woman bitted the other woman's finger off. Did I tell you I was a cheerleader?
How about your winter activities?
My winter activities, I had to not do a few of them during the camp out. I nearly bitted my fingernails off, worrying about it.
Worrying about it.
Okay. All right, play it, Casey. Slow. All right.
Remember, there was also another woman who bitted a woman's finger off. Wait a second. That was all. Is that you?
What I said was bit it.
When are we going to do our wine club again? Where we get together and watch that Nick Lachey show.
Listen, what I said was bit it a woman's finger off.
Like I like it, that song.
Bit it a woman's finger off.
Oh, you're still gonna fight it.
Yes. You just have to talk so fast with you guys because you either get cut off or shut down, or you can't finish your story or your statement or a word. Exactly.
I'm like a falcon just waiting to jump in.
Not you, everybody
know.
in here.
Well, I do it the worst. I know.
Steve, can you do a little bit of the traffic in her voice? Somebody's texting you for that.
Okay, on the northeast-south conduit, traffic is backed up. And at the Woodcrest station, which sounds like a giant wooden lobster.
Seen their stand-up routine? I don't know, but you should. Please welcome. You know them from the Broken Lizard crew. We have Kevin Heffernan and Steve Lemmy who are here.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, good to see you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Fresh off the red-eye flight in from the West
off the
Coast.
red eye. Yeah, we had to get here on time.
Yeah, and we listened to your show all the way in.
Oh, I hope it was enjoyable. You
Dick
didn't
tips. Dick tips. Great runner. Great runner. Kowtowing.
We were all, at one point, singing along to that here in the studio as it was playing. 20 minutes after 10 o'clock in the President's Tea Show. Absolutely stunningly beautiful Thursday, light and breezy, easy breezy cover girl.
Yes,
that's what it is.
Kathy
today.
Romano.
Yeah. Going up to like 75 today and sunny skies. Tomorrow a little warmer, 78 and sunny. A little warmer on Saturday, high 85 and sunny. Yeah.
It's going to be a wonderful weekend.
Yep. Sunday's good too. 80 and maybe some clouds, but that's.
I got the fishing pen out, ready to go.
Yes. Please. Did you ever get one of those?
I did, yeah.
That's what I thought.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Of course.
The fishing pen. All right, we're going to ask a lesson question, and today we are going to give away a pair of tickets as MMR rocks the Willie Nelson 4th of July picnic.
This is a hell of a show.
Willie Nelson and family, Bob Dylan, Robert Plant, and Alison Krauss. And we were talking about absolute legends.
Legends, yeah.
So the question that I ask you today is, what is the name of Kathy's new public relations apology company? 215-263-WMMR. We're talking about this woman yelling at the Kelseys, and they need to get Kathy in there to fix their reputation.
Yes.
So what is the name of Kathy's new public relations apology company? 215-263-WMMR. Call us, please.
The trash business is a gold mine.
93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Rita's. Make sure you head out to Rita's. Try the new Kool-Aid Tropical Punch Ice. Oh, yeah. You can try it in a 5-layer gelati or an ice blender drink, available only for a limited time. So get to Rita's quick. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, Frankie Venegas, one half of that viral hip-hop duo, you've seen these guys, the Island Boys, has been busted in Florida for driving-related offenses. According to the report filed under the section marked Identifying Features, the arresting officer wrote, "How much time do you have?"
Yeah.
As we know, Millie Bobby Brown and Jake Bon Jovi are now a married couple after getting hitched in a super secret ceremony. According to reports, the only Bon Jovi band member in attendance was Tico Torres, but only because he was parking cars.
Oh, my God.
And finally, Alec Baldwin's motion to dismiss the case surrounding his involvement in the death of Helena Hutchins has been turned down. Baldwin issued a statement saying that it's sad that the only fair shot he's gotten so far was when his trigger finger slipped. That's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, let's get us an answer. What is the name of Kathy's new public relations apology company? We will go to, let's see, we're going to go to Frank and see if we can get the answer. Hi, Frank. Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
Good, Frank. All right, so what is Kathy's new public relations apology company?
You dumb bitch PR.
Yes! Dumb bitch. Hang on, Frank. Got yourself a pair of tickets as MMR rocks Willie Nelson's 4th of July picnic with Willie Nelson and family, Bob Dylan, Robert Plant, and Allison Krauss. You got to believe these guys will all get together and play on stage, too, together. Maren Morris and Mavis Staples and Celise. And it's Thursday, July 4th, Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster. Info at WMMR.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, brought to you by Omaha Steaks, because a world-class dad deserves a world-class steak. Go to omahasteaks.com and use the promo code WMMR. Checkout. You can save on exclusive packages starting at just $89. A guitar used by John Lennon has become the most expensive Beatles instrument ever sold at auction. The Framus 12-string Hootenanny acoustic guitar was found in an attic after being presumed lost for more than 50 years. We had talked about this a little while back.
Right,
the fact that
right.
it was going up for auction. But it sold for $2.9 million via a telephone bid at the Hard Rock Cafe in New York. Lennon played the song You've Got to Hide Your Love Away on the guitar in the 1965 film Help. So you see him playing it.
It's one of the greatest songs. It's one of the greatest sequences. It just legendary.
And it was used on recordings on the album of that same name. Previous sales of Beatles material, so you're hearing the actual instrument right here.
A great song.
Previous sales include another of Lennon's acoustic guitars, which sold for $2.4 million, and Ringo's Ludwig drum kit, which sold for $2.2 million, are some of the highest bids ever on Beatles memorabilia. So pretty awesome, man.
They're in the movie Help. They're in their super cool, which wasn't their home, obviously, but they had the sunken beds and all that stuff. Awesome.
Yeah, excellent. Metallica's electrifying Munich show saw the Metal Titans unleash their longest song to date, the 11-minute epic Inamorata, from 2023's 72 Seasons, and this was for the first time they've done it on stage. We have a clip of that, too.
There's actually 2 clips of him prepping the audience for what they're about to experience and then playing it.
Yeah, this was a momentous occasion for frontman James Hetfield, who hyped fans about it. We got that ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
This next song, we have never, ever played live before. And, you know, in our band, we don't recognize the word mistake.
Yeah, so he goes on to say that these would be unique moments, not mistakes in the clip or in the song when they were going to be playing it. The band also played Hit the Lights from Kill 'Em All, along with their cover of Budgie's Bread Fan, both rare on tour. What is the other clip, Steve?
It is the actual. They're playing a little small piece of in whatever it was.
All right, in
Agata de Mortem.
In Morata.
Yeah.
Wow, it's like being right there.
Yeah. Recorded on high-fidelity phone.
So it's an 11-minute song, by the way.
That's the part where the song is there. YMCA.
The two tour premieres alongside a 16-song onslaught of beloved hits. The quartet's M72 World Tour rolled across Europe ahead of its upcoming North American leg, which is kicking off in August.
Did you guys see the? I'm sorry, Steve.
No, I was just going to say, Nick, this is the I believe these are the back-to-back shows, right? Where the sets are completely different.
I know that they've done that in the past. I believe that's part of this. Yeah.
I thought I saw a photo of a moment where they were singing Ride the Lightning and somebody snapped a photo and there's a lightning bolt in the background.
Whoa.
Sweet. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Collective Soul. We love those guys.
Yeah, they're great.
Their devoted fan base has rallied behind the veteran rockers' 12th studio album called Here to Eternity. It's actually climbing up the Billboard charts, celebrating their 30th anniversary since their 1994 multi-platinum breakthrough. They are currently, the album is at number 14 on the top current album chart, and number 15 on the top album sales chart, number 22 on the Hard Rock Albums chart. The 20-track project, recorded at Elvis Presley's historic Palm Springs estate, features guest appearances from Brian Ray, Peter Stroud, and Mickey Thomas.
From Starship?
Yeah, great singer. Meanwhile, the group is taking their show on the road this summer alongside Hootie and the Blowfish for a 44-date summer camp with Trucks tour, which kicks off actually tonight in Dallas, and they will be performing at the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion on August 16th.
Wow.
And then one last story. I thought this was kind of interesting. Netflix is diving into the musical competition pool. The streamers ordered Building the Band, which is a working title for the show, to compete with shows such as The Voice and American Idol. BTB seeks to discover the next great music group without bandmates initially meeting face-to-face.
Man, if we can get another O-Town, it will be worth it.
I think these people are going to play instruments.
Oh, okay.
The series, I'm guessing that's what it is. The series brings together 50 of the most talented singers. There you go.
There we go.
To compete for a chance to form their own band without ever seeing each other. No other details are available for the moment. And there you go. That's what I have in music news for you this morning. All right. You know what I wanted to... No, I'll read it tomorrow. It's an email from somebody. I'll read it tomorrow on a better time of day because we're wrapping up our
You're
program.
teasing, too. It's a reason to tune in tomorrow. Preston's going to read this email.
Yeah, and more breaking news from Kathy tomorrow morning.
I'll try to find something.
So we'll take a break, come back in a second. We have the return of Pierre Robert today, right?
I believe.
Back in studio, I believe. So we'll come back in a moment, and we'll wrap up the show, and then we'll hand it over to Pierre. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Tune in to Her Story with me, Kathy Romano, now airing on 93.3 WMMR. Join me every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. as we celebrate the incredible women who are shaping our world.
Kowtowing,
And Kevin had a stranger sleeping on him.
Yeah.
On the way.
A lovely elderly Asian woman fell asleep on my shoulder.
Now, we were talking about your ability to, prior to coming on, you rock the plane sleeping, no problem, but you cannot use a neck pillow.
No.
Your body naturally forms a pillow that keeps your head up.
Yeah, I don't have a neck, so my head is just propped on my shoulders.
Yeah.
So my head doesn't tilt, I can just sleep anywhere sitting straight up.
So did you let her sleep on you?
Why not?
He didn't know. He didn't know
get
she was
along?
there.
Can't we all just get along?
No, I woke up once. I was on a flight from Hawaii back to Philadelphia, and I woke up to there was a little bit of turbulence. Well, there was a lot of turbulence, and this huge man that was sitting next to me was like grasped onto my arm and like wrapping around me, and he was like, "I think we're gonna be okay." Okay.
That was his opportunity.
Come on. I guess so.
If I was sleeping on her, it would have been different. She would have been.
She'd have been suffocated.
Yeah. She would have got rid of me in a second. I'd have pancaked her.
There's a nice space between these. I'll rest my head there. It's an adorable picture.
Yeah.
It looks like you're smuggling her out of a country. But I envy you being able to do that.
Yeah.
Man.
And Steve, you have your arms folded too. I don't know how you can fall asleep in that position.
We were talking about that because I mentioned to you guys before coming on the device I purchased for Preston, which is this inflatable thing, sits on the trade table. Now, Steve, you are as good as Preston at sleeping on a plane, or no?
No. There's only one spot. I can only sleep on the right side of the plane on my right ear. I have to lean against the wall. Otherwise, I can't. My neck is I have too much thin neck to, like, even a neck
Is that
pillow.
a syndrome?
Yeah, I have thin neck syndrome.
Yeah, more giraffe.
TNS, they call it.
TNS.
Yeah, I suffer
But
from
you
TNS.
have a specific, the specific seat you need. What is the specific seat you need?
The F.
The F seat.
The F seat. And that goes for life, too, by the way. I'm always sitting in the F seat.
That's your autobiography title.
Yeah.
Steve Lemon, the F seat.
Life in the F seat.
Life in the
Life
F
in the
seat.
FC.
Yeah.
They'll think it's a hip hop album. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, but I've just. And it'll screw up any sort of your long-term trip. If you go overseas, you'll ruin a vacation because you lose 2 days because you didn't sleep on the plane.
Yeah.
And I've never done that. I know you're flying mostly within the United States, but now you just got it down to when you get on. How long before you're asleep?
Like minutes. I recommend people have their necks removed, and then it's easy to sleep that way.
It really is unbelievable how you can sleep on. Like, it pisses me off.
It pisses me off.
Yeah. Because sometimes, like, one of his eyes remains open for the sleep. Like, you only know he's asleep because his mouth opens up.
Right.
But his eyes are open, and when his mouth is closed, you can talk to him. But when his mouth is open, that's how you know not to disturb him.
It's true.
So Kevin, you're acutely aware of the fact that Steve's going to be awake taking pictures.
Oh, that's
of
all he does of me. He takes pictures of me while I sleep, and I think
have a
it's
whole album
a
of
fetish. It's a fetish he has.
How do you fall asleep knowing that's going to happen?
Nah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't bother him.
I'm a performer. You know what I mean? I like to perform for people. So I walked into the bathroom, the airport bathroom, when I got off, and I had a gigantic drool stain all the way down my T-shirt too. So no, it was a good sleep. It was a good sleep. Yeah.
That is great, especially when you're walking off the flight. Everyone knows exactly what that is.
Hey, guys, I know that a lot of people were excited when they heard that Super Troopers 2 was going to start production this year. It happened in October. You guys
we shot it. Yeah,
you shot it. It's done?
It's done,
wrapped.
yeah. We're in the editing room now. Yeah, that's why we red-eyed out, because we were editing yesterday. So, But, we finished about first week of October, and we shot for 2 months up in Boston.
So with the with your stage show, and you guys go out and tour, and you've done it for a while. The other three, I guess, go off and do their deal. But
we're the funny ones.
You're the funny ones.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. But I love your kind of your stage show is a synthesis of different things. It's a storytelling and stand up, and it's almost like an evening with.
Yeah, we each do a traditional stand up comedy set, but we also we come out together and we'll tell behind the scenes stories of the making of our movies. In fact, this weekend we're telling a fresh new story about Super Troopers 2.
A tease? Because
I'll tease it.
I love the...
I'll tease you, Steve.
Tease me like crazy. Tickle my ass with an ostrich.
I'll tease.
So tease, yeah. What is it?
I have a really exciting love scene in Super Troopers 2. I have a very exciting love scene. It's...
Which Carlito's Way member do you look like?
No, it's me with my mustache, but I'm going mustache to mustache with Rodney Farva.
Wow.
Kevin and I have a love scene together.
Yeah.
Really?
We have a thing.
Yeah, we make out in this movie.
Yeah, we can't really give away how it happens, but it does happen.
Yeah.
I love that. I love, because I was, watching a lot of your stuff, and there's an elaborate... Patrick Swayze encounter story that I thought was hilarious. And you, Steve, are a huge Patrick Swayze fan.
We're all Kevin and I are both big Patrick Swayze fans, but Kevin missed his opportunity to meet him because he was over at the free buffet table.
But you had a moment.
The window opened for a second, and Kevin was not
open
there
bar,
for it.
dude.
What I loved about it is that you guys are, because you guys, you obviously have this degree of success, but you're just the same sort of guys that we all would be in the same situation. When you meet someone you're sort of a fanboy for, and you realized in short order that you were that annoying fan.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
No, we were like, we saw Swayze, and we ran down the list. Like we were like, all right, what should we say to Swayze? And we ran down the list. Yeah, Point Break, Young Blood, Dirty Dancing,
Roadhouse.
Yeah,
we were zipping through all the movies.
You were trying to pick the movie to lead with because you wanted to set the tone.
I was just gonna have him just talk about every single movie he ever made. And Kevin, we didn't think we were actually gonna speak to him, but Kevin walked away, and our Super Troopers producer came over and said, I know Swayze. Do you want to come meet him? He's about to leave though, so you have to come right now, which is why Kevin missed the opportunity. But then I got Swayze. I brought him over to a Japanese lantern in the corner of this party, and then I froze. I couldn't remember a single movie. And yeah, and then like I was like, so like is Swayze like your stage name or?
That's Black Keys on 93.3 WMMR. The beautiful people stay high. 10:36. Thursday coming to a close for us. The Preston and Steve program. Man, what a day.
A magical day.
Beautiful weather-wise, first of all. It looks. I can't wait to get out there and enjoy this nice, breezy, comfy day. But here at work in our studio, we've had a lot of fun on the program today. We had Pauly Shore on the show.
A very interesting, cool side of Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
And got to talk about life matters and just Pauly being Pauly and making us laugh.
Yeah, he was on for a good 45 minutes or so and was very complimentary of our program.
He's
and
great, yeah.
Told us a lot of introspective stuff. It was a great conversation with him. So that was nice. We got to play a game. We played Cine Music. It's such a fun game to play.
Created a new PR agency?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You dumb bitch PR.
We did.
Yeah. How can we?
I'll be the head of that.
And the phone answer is, you dumb bitch PR. How can we fix you? And Kathy will fix everything. And thank you for that breaking news this morning too.
Yeah.
Wonderful. We need to do
the news crews just left because they wanted to talk to
They
Kathy
wanted to hear about it. Yeah.
Oh, and thank you to Rita's for supplying our giveaways today. Make sure you head out to Rita's and try the new Cool and Tropical Punch Ice. And you can add some of Rita's delicious creamy frozen custard. You can get a gelati. Get all your favorite Rita's frozen treats. And you can find your happiness while you are at Rita's. So thank you guys for that. All right, letter of the day. Casey?
I got you.
All right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by The Letter.
I, as in innuendo.
All right, we have one more to go tomorrow, and then we will give away a pair of pit tickets for the sold-out Chris Stapleton concert Thursday, June 6th.
So pitted.
Freedom Mortgage Pavilion, and details and concert info is available at WMMR.com. I'll take a moment to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show is brought to you by Dunkin', and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also, Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, and by Polar Seltzer. Polar Seltzer is just water, zillions of tiny bubbles, and great taste. Tomorrow, No Sad Bro Friday.
Yeah.
We'll cook up some connoisseur love for you, do some giveaways there, and see what else we can do to get you ready for this fabulous weekend. That is it. We are done. Rage on. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.